Dang, people are already in here, bro. Jeez. We're going hog wild already. There's already people in here. That's what I like to see. Shabeezy. That's what I like to see. I'm even 6 minutes early, bros. I'm even 6 minutes early. YouTube is being YouTube. I knew it would only be a matter of time, YouTube, until you started polling your crap. It wasn't even that long. You were doing so good, YouTube, and then you started your junk. They say God don't make junk. Well, he made fucking someone who made YouTube. He made the CIA who made YouTube, who has just been giving me a rough time, you YouTube folks. And I'm here to disgust the live streaming community. That's what today's about. That's what this is about. I'm here to absolutely ruin the live streaming community. I want Kai Cenat's head on a stick. That's what I want. Me and YouTube, we were on good terms. But you know what? Not for long. We're going to let everybody come in before I really start. My performance. The Goth money? Yeah. Goth money gang, baby. The Goth money crew gave me all access to one of their shows on Saturday. One of their people helps me with my stuff. Why are we lagging so bad? What's going on with this? We got to delete some stuff. We got to remove TTS. We had TTS up. TTS can't be up anymore. It's lagging too much, and we got to go to live. Thank you for the compliments on Izzy's World 11. You guys will be seeing that on another famous person's YouTube in the coming weeks. Oh, interesting. Okay, John D. I'll get to that. I'll get to the rock and wrestling. We can talk. We can get to that. Let's wait till some more people file in. But yeah, so at Deaf World, yeah, one of the manager guys for Goth Money helps me with some things I have coming out soon, and he's helping me with some of my music stuff. So me and Goth Money, the Goth Money gang, they're the coolest fucking guys ever. Like, usually, so like I was so blessed. I got to get all access. I got to go backstage and stuff. And usually, like, if you go backstage and stuff, like with a group or anyone and they have a show, like obviously they have to perform. So they're in a certain mode. And they were so nice to me. It was like the weirdest. It was like so weird. I was like, why are you guys so cool? It was so cool. It was like the nicest thing. They were the nicest dudes ever. It was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it. The show was super fun. I learned, as I've told you guys before, when I go to events or anything, I mean, it was a business thing. I was there on business, but I was there to specifically see how they do things and like kind of take note, you know? Yeah. I talked to, I didn't really talk to him though. He was, cause I went back there before the show. I didn't have time to stick around till after, cause I live like, the show's in Santa Ana and it's like 4 hours away from where I live. But I met everybody else. But I was like, I could have said hi, but he has to perform. I didn't want to. But yeah, the guy who's helping me is kind of like his manager kind of a thing. And it's cool. It goes with the aesthetic already. G, Griffin, you see? You guys see? But no, YouTube is screwing me right now, dude. They have been on my butt about some things. Oh, sweet. You found the YouTube from the Reels. I love it. That's where most people find me. Opening LaCroix numero uno. I'm not allowed to I don't get my last check for teaching until the 13th. And boy, are we scrounging these next few days. I have to be in downtown LA on Wednesday on more business. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen because they're burning the city down. The city is being burned. Oh, and this isn't even a poster. This is a towel. This is a pretty cool towel. Yeah, they are shadowing. They're shadowing the heck out of me right now. My ever since episode 9, you can go see the views. They like drop drastically. Let me see if this is I got to see if this is lagging. You can go see the views. They yeah, it's I don't want to do that. Why would I take my videos down after a week? The whole point is to not blow up, but to get bigger on the mainstream so I don't have to rely on people paying me because like people doing a subscription service just because it like, I don't know, they get weird about it. The point is I would rather have not everything be free, like have content segregated away for the Patreon, and we'll get into the live stream in a minute. We're just talking logistics here. The stream technically started a minute ago. No, but the idea is to have, exclusive content for the patrons who want it and who can pay for it, and then have everything else just be free, and then, get paid from YouTube for the ads, because that's just how it's looking. It's just kind of YouTube pays more than they used to, and they pay more than people think. And especially, I think, doing it with the live streams and making everything really interactive and having building a cheap little membership community on here, I think it's just the way to go. Live streaming is where it's at. I've had a theory. I used to say it on Duheads all the time. I think that all of the podcasts are slowly going to turn into live streams. This is where the world is headed. Everybody is their own sort of little television show. And the idea is the content creation, truth stuff, esoteric stuff will be my job. Music will continue to just be my passion. And if I can sort of continue to intertwine them and make a living as an artist, content creator, that's so sick. Awesome. If I have to go work in the damn oil fields because YouTube wants to have a rumble with me, then guess what I'll do? I won't do that. And I'll start robbing and stealing rich little ladies that live near me, because I'll do it. I have a gun in my car at all times now. Keep it in the trunk so it's legal in California. A whole generation raised on live stream sounds funny. Well, that's going to be Generation Beta. That's going to be them. Just so you know. I'm going to be raising your kids, not you. Not you. I feel like you'd be a great guest on an episode of War Mode. And I'm not saying it's them, but there's a couple of other ones. There's a couple of people. I might as well just be the host of their shows. If you watch a couple of these shows that are going on, it's just my show. It's literally just my show with a different guy running it. I'll see you this week, baby. Yeah. It's funny how it's going. It's funny how it's going. Cheers. You know, people, we're getting into live stream now. People steal from people that are smaller than them when they think they will never be eclipsed by them, right? Jay-Z never thought Kanye would be bigger than Jay-Z, right? This is when the murmurings begin. This is how everything begins, right? It begins with a notice. I begin to notice people using my material, and I start going, but guess what, guys? I do this. But you know what, Izzy? You're crazy. You're crazy. So you know what? You're wrong because you're crazy. And I let it go. For years, I let it go. I let it go for years. And then what ends up happening is it ramps up because I've ignored it. And then what ends up happening is other people start to notice it. And when the murmurings start, now this is what I love. This is when it gets fun. Not fun for me, but fun for everybody else involved. Because I've already known. I know the truth. I've known it. And everybody else gets to witness it. But here's the deal. When the murmurings start, this is how it happened. There's this guy. Hey, there's this guy. There's this guy he's from Nazareth. Yeah, he's from Nazareth, and he was at a wedding, and he turned water into wine. That's what I heard. Slowly but surely. Look, I'm just saying. How do you shill for Orthodox Christianity so hard? I don't shill for anything. I shill for me. I think there are plenty of issues with Orthodox Christianity. It's just, I've actually never shilled for it, ever, actually. Holy Spirit activated is right. I think there are issues with pretty much every denomination of Christianity. That's pretty much my my thing. So you're a con man? Let's see here. Yep. That's what I am. I'm 100% a con man. That's all I do. Let me see here. Let's see. See ya. That's the first person I've had to just yeet. That's the first person I've had to just yeet. See ya. Mark, welcome to the database, baby. Welcome to the database. Yeah, if you're coming in here to just like start problems, like we're not doing that. I think there's beautiful things with pretty much every denomination. I think there's silly things with every denomination. You know. Yeah. That was Doug. Bye, Doug. See you later. No, Doug would have... yeah, probably. Yeah, let's get a hi, Doug. Let's get a hi, Doug. Bye, Doug. It was one of the Dougs. Do you watch Corn-Fed with Dalton Pruitt? I don't know what is that? Dang, I wanted to watch Izzy's Word, but saw you were streaming. You got to catch the streams. The streams are where it's at. It's the real jouissance. It's the way of the future. Get the bag however needed. Yeah, that's definitely the idea. The idea is absolutely to like if I can give you guys, here's the thing, like if I can have 500,000 subscribers, right? And I don't need a Patreon, that's how I'm going to do it. Like I don't want to have to charge for anything. I really don't want to, but I I have to make a living. So slamming a LaCroix all night. Yeah, I'm going to be slamming 7 on stream. I think so. I've been watching Red Bar. Very entertaining fella. Very entertaining. Very entertaining. And he streamed, dude. He does like 10-hour shows. He does like 10-hour shows, and I have been studying him this weekend, and I'm like, I got to do longer streams. And I think maybe the way we can time the streams is I'll drink an entire case of LaCroix. A case of LaCroix is 8 LaCroix. That's 8. A total of 8. So today, he's crushed every comedian I've loved, and I'm better for it. Yeah. Seeing the way, now this is going to be really inside baseball, so I'm not going to focus on it too much, but seeing the way specifically Giannis Pappas responded to one person commenting Red Bar's watching, which people have commented on my stuff too, is seeing the way Giannis Pappas responded. That was so absolutely crazy. But I think, it's interesting because I could see how a comedian would see Red Bar as a bully, but people like Red Bar are necessary to keep the balance. Do you ever experience creative blocks? If so, how do you pull yourself out of? Dude, okay, so I'm kind of in one right now because here's the deal. Like, I'm in this weird limbo where I have material prepared to go on Tinfoil Hat. I have a whole thing prepared. I have Izzy's World, which I have a schedule for recording, right? And now I'm doing the live streams, which takes up a specific amount of time, and it has to be done in a specific way, right? But then the way, like, I was originally supposed to be on Tinfoil Hat in April to promote Gloom, but that didn't happen. So the promotional ideas for Gloom got pushed to the side, and it kind of screwed up the timing. So now I'm in this weird gray area where I am artistically past the Gloom era musically. I can't really go back there. Once I pass something musically, I can't go back there, right? Because I don't view this and content creation as needing to be artistically enhanced, right? Like, that's what I view music as. This is like a job. Like, I can turn it on, I can turn it off. To do a podcast, I can turn it on, I can turn it off, right? But so now what I'm doing is I'm like writing another music project, but I'm not fully in that new headspace. I'm still in between headspaces. So I would call it a creative block right now. And what I do, I just push through it until I find the new voice that needs to be captured. And I think today, like literally today, I wrote music for like 7 hours today. I wrote probably, 10, 11 songs, just crappy, horrible songs I'll never do anything with, because that's how I write. And I have actually one that's fire. I have one that's like actually fire. That's like, okay, I think I found that new voice. Is Kanye the modern Icarus? You saw that TikTok, didn't you? And no, I am. No, I'm just kidding. That is so funny. You saw that TikTok today, didn't you? And I think you did. I did. I saw it. I find it crazy how people believe that the strict dogmatic adherence to what a book says increases their connection to God rather than just being an overall good person. I think you're a little jumbled up there. If the book is divinely inspired and is the word of God, how would it not bring you closer to God? There are people who, what is a good person? Like, we can get all thought gamey with that, I think you need to reframe, and I'm not saying this in like a mean way. I'm saying this to help you. You need to reframe how a quote unquote dogmatic book can help you become closer to God, because it can. You can read the Bhagavad Gita and literally become closer to a divinity, right? I think just thinking being a good person doesn't get you closer to anything besides being what you think is a good person. I think that you're playing a dangerous game with your idea of what a good person is. And I say that with love. I don't say that to be rude. I think you should have some additional streaming success on Rumble or Kick. No one can really discover your stream unless you link them directly. Yeah, I'm going to be multi-streaming starting this week. Once I have to pay for it, and it's $27 a month. So happy to be here. What up, Lil Breast? LaCroix sparkling water. It is. 7 hours to find the one voice music is pretty cool. Yeah. And it's funny how it's like, it's funny because the song that I found, like, I found the voice in the melody of the song, which then gave me a new voice. Really hard to kind of describe. Christianity creates a good framework based on morality, on self-denial and self-sacrifice, and we take that lesson from Jesus. Yep. When is the red Ystar hat dropping? Probably pretty soon, next few weeks. Probably end of next week, I think. Izzy, what can you get out of going to church that they don't get from private prayer and reading scripture? Christ literally says, where there are 3 or more gathered in my name, I am there. You get the literal physical presence of the Holy Spirit. And you can feel it. If you're at a real church, so the person who was saying, why do you shield for orthodoxy? That moron, which I've never shilled for any, I don't know. The only thing I've shilled for is like my Patreon. Anyways, one thing I will shield for as far as orthodoxy goes, it is the most I have felt Holy Spirit in. Every time I go to an Orthodox service, I cry. And it's a love cry. It's not like a sad, it's like a love. It's like I feel so love. And it's entirely impossible to describe. Yes, the Y stars are going to be coming in multiple colors. Especially now that I'm working with the Goth Money FTP merch dude. Yeah, we're going to get all that stuff going a lot more. Because I was doing it all by myself, and I can't do it all myself. Yeah, so I'm curious about the Gloom album cover because I'm not knowledgeable. So seeing any resemblance of Goat Head, my brain just goes, oh, this is spooky stuff. So, okay, so the Gloom album cover, it's not a goat, it's a bull. So the Gloom album cover, it's supposed to be Moloch. And I actually had a movie I had written with the music. And in the movie, I had written that we were supposed to shoot that ended up having a bunch of problems. I literally slay Moloch in this movie that was going to accompany the album. So the album sonically takes you on a journey about my journey against Malachian consciousness. And what ended up happening was we never were able to shoot it. And we just took photos and I got some video of the guy dressed like Moloch. So that's what happened, pretty much. That's like the actual story behind it. But it's not like a reference to Moloch. It was supposed to be a shocking thing. That was just like the only image that I ended up getting, and it all happened too quick. And I ran out of money, and it became a logistical nightmare. This is back to the guy who was talking about the how people can get closer to God in a book. I was really just referring to people that are hypocrites and chastise people for not following their practice, while the person they're chastising might actually live a godly life than them. Hard to explain. Not really. I get it. I mean, everybody's hypocritical to some extent. I try to make that a theme within a lot of the things I do, is that everybody's hypocritical. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. You know, judgment is not a righteous thing. And to think that people who are being judgmental based off of their misinterpretation of a book does not make the book bad. That doesn't make the book bad. That makes the people reading the book incorrectly bad. Because first of all, you know, judgment is, you're not supposed to be judgmental, but you can be righteously judgmental, which is a different thing. But to conflate, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater by thinking people who misinterpret a text are not close to God. That doesn't make the book bad. I think you're kind of... Thoughts on Satan's little season? Yeah, that's there's a lot of stuff on that. A lot of people think we're currently in it. I was someone who thought we were currently in it, and then I was really against us being currently in it. So much so that one of the forefront people who talks about it, I didn't want to interview them any longer, and I canceled on them. I guess where I'm at now, I don't know. Here's the thing. When it comes to Christianity and it comes to that Revelation stuff specifically, if you get it wrong and you're leading people astray, you are going to be in big trouble when it is time for your judgment. And I am not going to get anywhere near that. What I think there are a lot of things that are going on that line up with us being in a little season, but I'm also somebody who's of the impression that it gets way worse. Like I'm of the impression that these are the good times. Like truly. Understanding conspiracy. Yeah, that's a guy that that's the guy I'm talking about. That's Paul Stobbs. I've interviewed Paul Stobbs before. He rules. He's awesome. But I'm really weary of interviewing anyone who's spreading something that would be incorrect, because then I would be liable. And I don't want to fuck up like that. Oh, dude, Wheezy's gifted memberships. Oh, baby. Everybody in here, let's go. Wheezy just gifted 5 memberships. The YouTube does have memberships now. I am going to be releasing exclusive stuff. You guys get the Boar Core title. You become the rears. The Boar Core. Boar Core. Let's go. Let's get some Wilk. Let's get some high Dougs in the chat. Let's get some Wilk. If you're alone and no one's in there, throw up the 3. We've got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. There's the other one, right? Wilk. The W does stand for Wheezy right now. Wheezy's a real one. We got Wilk. Wilk is that. I'm going to be honest. That stream was the stream that made me fall in love with this. You guys pulled me out of like the worst day. I was having such a bad day. Shane Gillis taking notes right now. Shane and another one. There's another one that's way worse. There's another one that is way worse. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I know the spiritual implications. Like the gifts that are in store for me are so much greater than me making a video and getting a quick 3,000 views. I see what you mean. I wasn't criticizing any book itself. I was just saying it's hard for me to understand people who righteously push their beliefs on other people. I get that. I get that. I think that it would be weird to not see the weird. Like sometimes, I mean, that's why like with the videos, I'm always trying to feel out where the audience is with like me talking Christianity. Not because I don't want to talk about it, but because I don't want to put anyone in a position where they like feel weird. You know what I mean? But, you know, uncomfortability, growth comes from uncomfortability. And that's something I'm dealing with right now in a very physical, painful way. But here's what I would say. As a person, when you see someone being judgmental in that way, like let's say Christians judging whoever, right? Just know that they're the ones that are wrong, right? And I do this too. I mean, I pretty much slam people all the time. I slam Islam all the time. I slam it, and that doesn't make me right, but it makes me have an opinion, and that's why I always focus on how we can be hypocritical, right? Hootin' and hollering stream when? Oh boy. See, I don't know. What about losing faith? The story of Storm on the boat, and the sailors wake up and Jesus says, "Ye of little faith," and he stops the storm, can be interpreted a lot of ways. It can be. You're talking. I don't really know what you're asking me though. What about losing faith? People's faith is like a roller coaster. I'm honestly right now, I'm not in a dip, but I'm in a weird spot with not Christianity, but with the enticingness of the occult. I'm going to be honest, if I'm being completely honest, and not like the devil, not that. Like, you can just really, when you start learning things, you learn how easy it would be to get where you want to be faster by doing certain things. And I luckily I have the discipline to not do that, but it really, it can be difficult. Hang on, I got to fix my camera. I'm still going to be here. I just got to fix this because it's really bothering me because it keeps clipping in and out. I have to plug it in. All right, we should not have that problem as much anymore. Have you read the Book of Mormon? I'm reading it. It's just like Lord of the Rings. It's pretty cool. I've never read it. I'm going to be honest. I did slam it this week though. Joseph Smith was there. He's painted as a beautiful guy though, huh? Good Aryan, blonde hair, blue eyes. Do you worry if hooting and hollering if you hooted and hollered you would blow up quick? You know, I was kind of a mumbler. I was like a mumbler kind of. I don't think I don't have the like confidence to like, you'll be married in the summer with a kid on the way. I mean, you guys can listen to the slumps. I hollered. I didn't hoot though. I didn't hoot. My tarot reading can tell me when I'm about to poo gahoy. I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, man, see, this is what I was afraid of too, was I did that archetype build for the fight, the Sugar Sean fight, and I let my want of him to win because he's like a family friend to oversee the truth of it, right? Because like his archetype was the Tower and Death. Now the interesting thing is he was like fighting as Sean O'Malley, not Sugar Sean O'Malley. He was Sean. Came out to a different song, everything, not dyed hair. So I think Sugar's dead. So I think the death thing was right, but I think the Tower was not for Merab and it was for him. And yeah. I clicked on your new video thinking it was going to be a Joseph Smith hype video. Just me, the Book of Mormon. I grew up in Utah. I've read the Book of Mormon. It's batshit. They believe Missouri will be the new Jerusalem. Oh, wow. Wow. Is there a specific reason you use the planet Mars? Ooh, you're the first person to ask about this. Yeah, because I'm an Aries. That's the only reason. There's nothing really more to it. Sometimes I love to have everyone think like, oh, he's really a wizard. It's not. I'm just an Aries, and Aries is Mars. And Mars rocks my shit. Aries are like very violently affected by the planets. I'm interested in anything about ancient America. We don't know much about what was happening here thousands of years ago. Yeah, we don't. You know, it's funny. There's most of the and here's the thing. Most of the truther stuff, like truther community stuff about the ancient Americas, almost all of it becomes unintentionally Black Hebrew Israelite propaganda. Like there are so many episodes of Tinfoil Hat where the guest will be like there was one in particular, and the guy was talking about how Florida was the Garden of Eden, and he was talking all of this stuff, and I don't think that he was intentionally like repeating Black Hebrew Israelite propaganda, but he like 100% was, and it was like really, it's kind of funny. I don't know, it's kind of funny. I love the Hebrew Israelites. I love them. I think they're so passionate. It's kind of funny. I was raised Mormon too, served as a missionary in Philadelphia and everything. Whoa. Curious G21, tell us more. It's the Moors. Yeah. We know a lot. Read the Book of Mormon. That's funny. I know it, dude. I'm a Capricorn and I slap the Platter and Saturn on everything. Yeah. Be careful with that one, though. That's a different one. Saturn... you know what's fun? I'm going to ask you a question and you don't have to answer it, but do you do very well financially? Are you really well? Do you not have money problems? Because I have a Capricorn in my life who is just balls financially, like in ways that never make sense. Yakub, yep. Oh, dude, it's so cool seeing the membership chats. Dude, that's so sick. The Honorable and Gracious Brother Johnson, the great wizard of the modern seed and spiritual essence. Moors? I was born into a Muzzy family, and since 2020, my spirituality has been more a relationship with God angle, not as much if I do good, good happens to me. I talked with an Orthodox priest I looked up to. That's one of two. Interesting. There really is things about Islam that are interesting. A lot of it's very, I don't know the word. At Jump Jesse, you're here. This stream is only 37 minutes, and I'm drinking all 7 LaCroix on stream. So I typically never have a low balance in my bank account. Saturn is cruel black cube mistress sometimes, though. Yeah, but I mean, people who are ruled by Saturn are so like Capricorns are typically they benefit greatly from the quote unquote matrix type systems that are here to, like me, the one thing I'm just so bad with, like I'm so financially horrific to the point where like it's just, but I'm also in this place where I'm having to recover from a decade of being an addict and everything else. Repent a lot. He said to perish and then let the Holy Spirit express itself rather than just proclaim. These days I'm literally praying and repenting yeah, that's good. That's a really good place to be. And that's one thing that I think Orthodoxy and Catholicism both do get right is the focusing on the repenting more and kind of like that you're in a place of learning and that you're like kind of wrong. You know, a lot of this is okay. So at the end of Izzy's World 11, I talk about the Christian Avengers and the Christian Avengers. And a lot of my problem with them is not so much, it's more about how a lot of them are younger, new Christians or in this position where their ministry is new, right? And they are doing a heavy proclamation, heavy ministry, heavy spreading the word. And I just feel like you can tell they're not really there yet, you know? And as someone who was raised Catholic, there are certain barriers to entry that Catholics and Orthodox go through and have, right? So, You sounds like you're on a good path. The craziest thing about Mormons is that the church has its own esoterica. Most members have no concept of their own history, and the brethren have their own secret rituals. They're also absurdly wealthy. That is one thing about Mormonism a lot of people they don't think about is how powerful they actually are in the United States. There is something I read, and I don't know what branch of government they are, but Mormons make up like a big percentage of something. It's something in there. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm specifically a January Capricorn. Yeah, so is the person I'm talking about. Christians are just too soft. Modern ones are. Modern Protestant ones are. The older ones are not. You know, I actually do feel like we need we need like an actual arm of the Catholic Church, and I'm saying this like really tongue in cheek, like really silly. So you know, this will be clipped eventually, but we need an actual Jesuit arm of the Catholic Church that's like a legit military, like legitimately. I think if they did that, you know, Europe would probably clean up its act. I grew up. You guys are killing it in the chat, by the way. Thank you for giving me a super active chat. Wilk it up. I grew up Catholic, and when I got back into my faith, I went to a Calvary chapel. It was too much acoustic guitar and not enough sorrow. That is one thing the Catholics bring, a lot of sorrow. Kay asks, thoughts on meditation. I think meditation can be good if you're doing it to listen to God and not yourself. Taoism. I have a book of the Tao over here. I studied the Tao extensively in college. It's really good. I took a phenomenology course. Blew my mind. The Tao. This is one of my favorite things I learned of the Tao. I want everybody in the chat right now to envision a bowl. Think of a bowl. What does a bowl do? A bowl holds food, water, liquid, whatever. So the bowl is not the bowl. The bowl is that creates negative space. That's what a bowl is. I don't know what that means, but I learned that. I spent a lot of money on that learning that. Mormons also think they're adopted Brazilians. Love that for them. That's disgusting. I hate that. I hate that disgusting drivel. Mormons think they're adopted what? Disgusting. Get them out of here. Take the hats and throw them like frisbees. There's Native American petroglyphs that are 10,000 plus years old based on the patina. They also align with the sun, moon, and stars. Who done them? I don't know, man. Probably the Moors. Thanks for everything, Izzy. God bless all. If I pass my finals, I'll sign up on the Patreon, man, for real, for real. Thank you very much, first and foremost. Good luck with your finals. And what you described with your history, being raised Muslim or Muzzy. I don't know if Muzzy is the bad word, by the way. If it is, I apologize. But if just keep on your path. What my point is you probably hear a lot of things, especially from close family members. Only you know. And you're on the path you're on for a reason. And any criticism you get, allow those questions to bring you to the answers to bolster your faith and to become a hardened Christian man or woman or warrior. Core for Christ. The Christians are supposed to be warriors of faith. That we are. The devil card, the card tied to Capricorn, and what it represents, rules my life too hard, bro. Yeah, material. Saturn is the material. You deal with the material, but you also thrive in it, molded by it. That's Bane. Can someone explain Wilk mode for me? Wilk is I received a super chat from somebody named Milk. And people started spamming W's, and it turned into Wilk. Wilk for the win. There's got to be Mormon missionaries who are actually hitmen, real boondocks. Definitely, I would say so. I bet you the Mormon Church has its own John Wilk-esque hit team. I would assume so. Bulls are Wilk. Catholics believe there is fruit in all religions. The Pope said that other religions have pieces of the truth. Well, yeah, I was gonna say something really rude, but I don't think I should. Brapzillion, is he talking that shit? Like, okay, well, in that we're all, that's like saying we're all stars, you know? My fecal matter has stardust in it. It doesn't make it, you know. That's great coming from a church of diddlers. A church of diddlers, right? An expensive breakfast, if you will. Is that why the elites worship Saturn? Yes, in part. Do you ever talk about Saturnian cults? I have. Seems like a ton of corporations have Saturn logos. They do. Yeah, Saturn worship it's tied to the cube, the literal cube on top of Saturn, and it's just it's the worship of the material. And then when you get into Gnostic ideas, you know, the material is bad, right? But then we get into one of my favorite guys. His name is Faith by Reason, and he talks about how the realms of heaven are actually more material, that we actually have it backwards and it's flipped. You got to think Lucifer is the god of air, right? A lot of things going on there. What do you think is the optimal diet? I don't even know. I'm on a starve diet. I'm just starving myself right now. Is Orthodox different from Catholics, the Pope stuff? Yeah. So they're both technically, Catholic means universal, and they're both technically apostolic, meaning they both have, they can both trace their lineages directly back to the apostles and to Christ. The Orthodoxy and Catholicism split in, 1056, 1058, one of those two. Oh, yeah, Izzy, I just wanted to remind you about my rock ball connection. He asked the WWE champion to sell his soul in a storyline. Yeah, that's interesting, especially because his like clothing line logo is a bull. There's a lot going on there, definitely. You know, a lot of things are draped in. A lot of things like that are draped in. You know, it's for the storyline, right? Like even in the way you're describing it, you're explaining it as being within a storyline, you know? How did you get a Y star in the chat? How do we petition for a new letter in the alphabet? I need a Y star, yeah. This might be redundant, but what are your thoughts on Jay Dyer? Oh, I've talked about him before. I think he's cool. He writes for Sam Hyde. At this point, I might as well too. Eat the same thing every day. In my spiritual practice, Saturn is about karma, purpose, manifestation, and personal responsibility. Well, 33, dog. 33 viewers in here. The Rock's little black friend is demonic. I can feel it in my bones. Izzy, what do you think about Charles Carroll? Would love to hear y'all chat. I really like Charles Carroll. I was actually listening to him on Tinfoil Hat today. Very, very smart fellow. He has a really great point I actually wanted to talk about, and how the things that were murmured and whispered about 10 years ago are now common knowledge, which means the quote-unquote theories that are going to be coming out in the future are going to be so insane, right? It's going to be so... What they're doing now will seem so crazy when it starts to become in the zeitgeist, right? Candace Owens is in the chat. It shows you 37. It shows me 33. Do you see any value in jewelry? Maybe a watch representing a milestone. Do you think all jewelry falls under the banner of materialistic and vapid? No, I don't. I believe in I think people should have nice things. I think that if your material possessions own you and control you, you got a problem. But I definitely think that there's nothing wrong with having nice stuff, you know? There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, like Abraham was really wealthy. He was absurdly wealthy, right? Charles inside girls about to show up. I don't get it. Hey, Candace, hit me up. Is Candace really in here? Are you guys being serious? Candace Owens is in here. Holy crap. Capricorn mode. Everybody tell everybody Candace Owens was watching me, even if she wasn't, because that's funny. Yeah. But no, I definitely think people should have nice things. Everybody get a hi, Candace. Everybody say hi, Candace. Candace Owens in Izzy and Griffin's chat. Heard it here first. That was like a real red bar, huh? That was like a real. Did you know Joseph Smith used a rock to translate the golden plates? Yeah, I talk about it in this week's Izzy's World, the seer stone, and he put it in a hat and he looked into the hat. Where can I find that Charles tinfoil hat video? It's not a video. Go to Spotify. Go to tinfoil hat. It's like the fourth newest ep. Really good episode. Saturday is also Saturn Day. Interesting, Saturday and also the Sabbath. It's something Charles always says in his live stream because she says shit he was talking about years ago. Well, the irony of, yeah. There are people in that genre that are talking about things I talk about weeks ago or days ago. The Mormons, but who cares? I don't care. I really don't care. You know, whatever. It is what it is. I truly do believe, you know, as someone who can genuinely see when people are influenced by me, we'll say it that way, influenced by me, who have more than me, you know, I can choose to be bitter, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I do get like legitimately pissed and bitter. But it's also like I genuinely do believe that there are ideas that are floating literally in the ether. Like I literally believe this, that there are Neoplatonic ideas that float and we pull them down. So take of that as you will. We used magic rocks every day to talk to each other. This is true. There are magic rocks like crystals and stuff. The Mormons kept those rocks they used to dedicate their temples. Okay. There are 2 stones, mundane, Monday. Okay, but hey, when we're doing the Saturn Day, when we're doing that, let's make sure we're actually doing the proper etymology and we're not doing what I talked about a month ago. Don't tell me good morning. Let's make sure we're not creating our own mythos of reality here with false etymology. That shit's really annoying. Don't you tell me good morning. Right? Remember when I talked about that a month ago? Maybe you guys will get the connection of what I'm talking about. Collective consciousness? No, not that. I'm not talking about that. The Crystal Goth baddies were right. I wrote a song called Crystal Girl in 2015. It was a hit. Great song. I could play it for you now if you'd like. We need the Mormon to get a seeing stone and put it in the Ystar hat and see if he sees anything. I made that joke. Did you not listen to the episode? I made that exact joke. Bad nighttime. That's right. Crystal Castles. Good. Play that. Let's hear it. I don't want to go get my guitar. I don't want to be hooting and hollering on cam. Like I guarantee if I start playing guitar and I become a Lex Friedman in here, everybody will leave and the show will not grow and people will not want to come to Izzy's Friendship Simulator. We're all communicating and watching Izzy through solid state earthstone materials from the earth. Yeah, maybe I'll do something. You know what? If I can find out how to play my computer audio through the live stream to you guys, I'll play you some shit I wrote today. She'll be married. No, not she'll be married in the summer. Oh yeah, she will be, huh? I'm trying to be cool. Sorry, stealing your bits is really popular. Yeah, it is. It's cool though, man. Whatever. I don't care. I have so many ideas. These are the free ones. These are the free ideas. With the kid on the wag. Pedal board reveal. My pedal board was so sick. Dude, I had the sickest guitars when I was the guy. I had a 2001 Japanese Fender Mustang candy apple red with a cream racing stripe on it across the body, and then I had a 1985 Big Muff, and then I had a 909 Ibanez Tube Screamer. I had a chorus pedal. I obviously had a tuner pedal, and then I had a delay. It wasn't a chorus. I had a delay. Very simple pedal board, but it was insane. Show my ass pizza collection. I have the Taylor Swift tee. I get all the Revived because I'm poor. I have the Taylor Swift tee. I have a 2020 hat. I have a 1 of 1 t-shirt. I have a 1 of 1 Carhartt vest. 2 things he signed 2021. And then I have 6 of the Revived Pokemon tees. Can you play the piano? No. I know one piano chord. Oh, dude, Minecraft World. Me and my brother are talking about creating a Minecraft server. Minecraft is one of the only video games I will play. Mustangs are sick. I got a Jazzmaster. I would love to have a Jazzmaster. I like Mustangs because they're a little more growly. And then this is insane. I had a 2015 Lilac Mexican Stratocaster. Now, where your Fender is from is actually very important. My dad works for Fender nowadays, but 2015 Lilac Mustang Stratocaster, and I had 13 gauge strings on it. Played drop C. I played in drop C, which is a very interesting thing. Vintage music gear, it's real magic. Yeah. Think of like music gear's magic. It charges because think of the energy and the emotional toil that goes into like a musical instrument. They literally do become like divining rods. Thoughts on Christian mysticism? Yeah, Christian mysticism exists. It's definitely based. Orthodoxy. It's like a lot of orthodoxy is based on that. I mean, the Catholicism is more mystical, you could say. Especially analog music gear. Yeah, analog music gear. I'm more of a music gear kind of guy too, you know. I'm like beats. When I make beats, I make them on an MPC. I don't make them in Fruit Loops or whatever. It's interesting seeing the way producers make beats using gear, using like Fruit Loops. You can feel it. It's different, you know? What's my dream guitar now? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I almost bought this guitar when I was signed. I almost bought a guitar that Kurt Cobain owned. It was a Mustang he was given from, I believe Fender gave it to him, and it was silver and it was like glittery. And apparently he like didn't want it and he like peed on it. And I don't think he ever played it, but he owned it. And it was in this shop in Oregon. And I almost spent part of my advance on it. And then I think I like got drunk and forgot or something. I can't really remember exactly what happened, but I wasn't able to get it. Yeah. I have you know what's funny? I was thinking yesterday. Okay. So I've been listening to Playboi Carti. And I don't know why. I don't know why I've been listening to Playboi Carti. And I've been studying him. Because I don't know how his music works. Because he's saying things that are not interesting or different, but it works, and it's so catchy. And I don't get it. I truly don't understand it. So I've been studying a lot of music lately, and I'm studying it, and I'm thinking about how his thing is called opium. It's opium, everybody. It's opium. It's opium. It's opium. It's opium, right? And I was like, man, you know what's crazy? In 2012. When I started, so I played drums all as a kid, played some guitar in high school, and then I really got into guitar in college. I still play guitar. But I had an MPC in 2012 when I was 18, and I would make beats on them, and they were horrible. But at the time, from the age of 14 until I got sober, I had a problem with opiates. I really did. I would take painkillers a lot, all the time. And at the time, my roommate had a prescription to Oxycontin because he had leg surgery and he had this leg problem. And I would steal his Oxycontin, and he was really scared of me. And I would steal them every day. I'd steal his Oxycontin every day. And I literally was calling my project the opium problem. Or the opium project. And I had this journal, and I would write down whatever drugs I had taken that day. I'd write songs, and then I was calling this mixtape I was working on MPC and Opium. And I've just been thinking about because I have a thing with phonics. I'm really interested, songwriting for me is a phonetic exercise. It's not about the words. It's about how the words sound. And that's something Carti has figured out. If you listen to Sky works because of how it operates phonically. I'm giving you guys legit songwriting game right now. Legit. But think of the word opium. I want you to think of it, and I want you to think why it works and why the sounds works. I mean, you have an O, a round. You have an O, round, P, which is straight, but then the P is rounded, right? Then you have an I, which is straight again. Straight P, straight I. U, rounded, but still straight, but rounded at the bottom, connects back to the O. Then you have an M, right? Straight, but rounded tops. Everything is round. Opium is a round word, right? And as someone who has I don't have what is it? Synesthesia. I don't have chromesthesia. I don't have chromesthesia or synesthesia. But I can hear and see shapes of words, if that makes sense, and why they work. Paul Belsey said 14. Yes. 14. When I was 14, I broke my collarbone, and I was given a Vicodin prescription. And I took them until I got sober at 27. 28, whatever that is. Thoughts on Kanye and the way he reacted to his most recent stances? I think Kanye... I think he has a lot going on. I think he's an artist, and I think he does artist things, and I think he likes reaction out of people, and I think people blow it out of proportion. I feel like if people are too concerned with what other people do always, right? Kurt didn't want you owning garbage, and his spirit guided you away from it. I believe that, actually. Referring to Carti, his music is so bad. Izzy's a multi-instrumentalist for real. Yeah, I'm not the greatest though. I am a good guitar player, but I'm really sloppy. I'm really like Kurt Cobain Neil Young coded. Very sloppy, but I do have a style. I will give myself that. Nobody can take that away from me. Definitely have a fucking style. Glad you're still here and clean, but it's a fantastic album title. I know, right? I'm so glad you got out of that before all the opiates got laced with fentanyl. Yeah, I would have died for show. If somebody was new to music production, would you recommend an S&P 404? Yeah, S&P 404 is cool. Did I have the 404? I had one of them. I had an S&P. I don't think it was a 404. It was a different one. The 404 is really cool. I had another one. What was it? Is there like a 202? No, not the 202. I had one of them. I had one. I can't remember what it was. I got it super cheap. I used to, the way that I started, so I had an MPC, like, what was it? I had an MPK. Sold that. And then I was so inspired by MF Doom, I was making beats on an MPC 2000 in 2013, 2014, 2015, using the floppy disk, sampling vinyl. I actually used to go on Craigslist, and I would buy people's entire collections of records. I used to have thousands of records. I have these photos of me in college, like in a room. I used to live in this room. It was an A-frame in Oregon. I went to the University of Oregon, and I had records all over the fucking walls and the floor, thousands of them, and I would sample Herbie Hancock and Curtis Mayfield. If you want to listen to it, actually, I'm gonna put you guys on. You can go to SoundCloud, Trap Leopard. The beats aren't great, but the whole point is that, they're made on an MPC 2000, like the point is that I was using machine that was 15 years old or whatever, right? So, I still had a Twitter. Wait, my Twitter's still there? Oh, no followers. That's funny. I had this project called I had a project that was called Goldzilla, and I wore a green ski mask, not like Faceless's lime green. It was a dark green, and it had a big G stitched into it. And it was like a very MF Doom inspired kind of thing. Yeah, and this is the craziest thing. So I had this management deal, and I was in this band called The Slumps, and we were working on getting like a full label deal and all this other stuff. And ended up not working. They'd given me money. Songs I had written were given to various people. All this crazy shit happened. And then I went up to Oregon, and I gave my MPC 2000 to my fucking bass player because I couldn't get it back on the plane to California, where I had moved back in with my parents because I had a drinking problem. 303 had the God tier compression. Maybe it was the 303. It was a really weird one. It was shaped really weird. No, it wasn't that. I don't even know what it was. It might not even have been an S&P. I don't even know what it might not have been a Roland. I don't know what it was. Thoughts on wearing a cross? It's cool. Like a Yonkers green? No, it was like a military green. I like the limitations of the Dr. Sample SMP 202. See, that was the thing with sampling records was working within the limitations. It makes you more creative. It really does. It really does. I need to, it's weird where I'm at with music because more than anything, I'm a writer, lyricist. I'm a songwriter more than anything, right? Like, I have songs I've written. I know if I gave them to like anybody, they would blow up. I know it. I have songs I've written. I know if I gave them to like Denzel Curry, like I'll write songs with other artists in mind. Like, this would be cool for him. This would be cool for her. This would be cool. I have a song I wrote that is specifically written for like Daniel Caesar. I have a lot of stuff like that. And now what it is I'm trying to write stuff that people will think I'm cool. Like, guys, give me the energy to become the next Jay Dilla. Here's the deal. With that, I'm going to be your dad. With no one should ever have to give you the energy to do anything. You should get yourself there. If you're not making beats while you watch Izzy's World Friendship Simulator, I don't know. If you're not using this as inspo, right? Everything I do is to study and to make the live streams better, to make Izzy's World better, to make my music better, right? So look at Badass Fat Ass. He's making beats with the bowls and a chopstick right now. Right? Beatles used a 4-track. That's wild. The Beatles. I don't know much about the Beatles, but I did not know that Maxwell's Silver Hammer is like what broke them up. I was reading this thing about the Beatles and how Paul McCartney's, they called them granny tunes. His like show tunes, like bang bang Maxwell Silver Hammer, you know, it's kind of like a grandma song. How those songs are becoming the ones that are like the next iteration of musicians that are, I don't know, that like that's what they remember and they know. MF Doom did good with Arrowroot. I couldn't imagine staying up all saying wait for a TV show to play again to sample its theme. You know what's one of my I love what LaCroix Crusher said, all pedos, that's right. I'm not a big Beatles fan, I don't fuck with them. You know what's amazing about, so when you're sampling a record, right, you obviously have the needle and you need to put it down in a specific place in order to get the sound. Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest was so good, he could literally loop things by lifting it up and down. So like imagine lifting or looping, you know, 8-bar or 4-bar or whatever by just lifting it up and putting it exactly where it was. That's crazy. Paul wrote the chords melody for All Day. He did. I wonder, I'm curious how you guys feel and think about the Paul McCartney, the famous Paul McCartney conspiracy that he's DEAD. Sun Ra, fire. Love Sun Ra. Love the Blacks. Sun Ra rocks, dude. Sun Ra is so cool. Yeah. I can't believe someone came in here calling me names in my friendship simulator. We're here to be friends. You believe they replaced him? I believe it too. I'm kind of getting into the Tavistock thing. I'm really interested in that. I'm really interested in Tavistock. I'm really interested in that being what it was and what happened. I'm really interested in that. Let me see how to play laptop audio through Streamlabs, because I want to play some for you guys. How I've tried this before. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to do it. It's so annoying to try to figure stuff out. As the live stream grows, more trolls will be rolling in, but the Borecore gang is here. Yeah, I know. I know that people are going to be whatever. And eventually the chat will be moving so fast we won't be able to get them all. But the idea is to eventually have mods and, you know the drill. You guys know the drill by now. You guys know the drill. You get the gist. We get it, you know. But man, YouTube has been putting a hankering on me, dude. They've been slamming me, dude. We're getting too close to the truth, folks. The clone stuff is getting really weird. Because the CRISPR thing, choosing your child's genetic, that is very popular in European countries. You can do that. You can do that in Germany. I was listening to Rampage Jackson, the fighter, talk about that recently. And I'm very interested in it. And you know what is interesting? The Kai Cenat thing, I want to discuss the other streamers, by the way. But the Kai Cenat thing, him and Diddy, obviously I don't, know. I don't think that he's Diddy's son. I don't really think that. But seeing Kai throw these parties, people going to the parties, and like, it's interesting how those parallels, I'm starting to notice them, right? Like, I think that's very, I don't know. I'm seeing some similarities. I'm seeing how Kai is bringing people from other countries. Like, he brought that Ray kid. He brought the Torta kid, whatever his Tota, whatever. He's bringing people from other countries. I'm seeing it. Hearing about CRISPR putting memes onto DNA strands years ago messed me up. That's interesting. I wonder what that is. My godson is a test tube baby. Still love him, obviously. It just makes me think. Think about what? And what do you mean test tube baby? What do you mean by test tube baby? Don't you guys find it interesting that Trump did that stuff regarding in vitro? Interesting, huh? When there's the, you know what I'm talking about? That if you could get it there, and then there's the in vitro stuff. What did you guys think? I posted a reel on that, and I had to delete it. It was the response was insane. There's some ugly corners of YouTube out there, but this is not that at all. Yeah, I hope not. I hope this is a pretty corner. But I do want to take the streaming world by storm, and I want to discuss these other live streamers. Because it's all, it's all too pretty. It's all too pretty. I'm truly wondering how you get the audio from Streamlabs into, you just realize you don't want to be Jay Dilla, you want to be the alchemist. Just tuned in after being AFK. I'm not sure how Nepo Kai is, but I'm convinced whenever anyone gets a certain level of influence, they can choose to represent principalities. That's an interesting, I believe that. I think, sort of like a principality almost overcoming them. I could see that. Well, Kai was military, right? Kai Cenat was in the military, wasn't he? And I don't think Kai is a nepo, to be clear. He wasn't. Never mind. I could have swore I saw something about Kai being in the military or something. I guess not. You can't get as big as these people do in the media and public eye without doing what these people want you to do. Duke Dennis was military. I think Ray, his friend, did mandatory 2 years, right? I'm interested, like, okay, Aaron Nelson says you can't get as big as these people do in media and public eye without doing what these people want you to do. I really am. I'm curious. I'm curious where that cutoff is, because people think I'm a Fed, or it's like, and remember, this is not a Fed finder. This is a friendship simulator. We've gone over this before, but it's interesting. I wonder how big you can get. I wonder. I really do wonder. I'm really curious. Yeah, YouTubers are created like celebrities. YouTubers are, I've gone over this. I talk about this on Night Media. I talk about this. I have a whole long theory about this because I could tell the Costco guys, I could tell they were not organic. I could just sniff it out. I'm starting to wonder about Oliver Anthony as well, and I've fully researched it, and I kind of want to do a video about it and talking about where, at what point is someone a plant? Like, when did they cross over? Because Oliver Anthony, right, had a manager who was really well connected to like big Instagram accounts, right? But nothing more than that. And obviously his song just got a lot of traction because I've had stuff go super viral. I don't have any connections. Like, I really, really don't. You know, I've done everything through hard work, like, truly. You know, so I just applied to a listing on Indeed to become a gang stalker. Interesting. Once companies like Gatorade and Twitch are interested in you, oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's a whole different level. That's a whole nother level of borecore. If I wish that I worked for LaCroix, because then I wouldn't be broke. I would have some income. But what about photography, PR people, management who are also doing the freaky stuff but not in front of a camera? I have no connections yet. Has Borecore. Get real, Borecore, baby. That's right. I think Borecore is going to blow up. I do. I think it's going to completely blow up. Oh no, I'm doing this. I think it's going to completely blow up. I need to get a colder one. I wish LaCroix, if LaCroix would sponsor me, dude, we would be sitting pretty. We would be sitting so pretty. I want to take these headphones off. I don't want these headphones on anymore. I don't even need them. It's just me listening to myself at a certain point, right? And Borecore does work. I'm getting thin, folks. I am thinning out. I'm starving. I'm starving myself. I have been starving. Look how thin I'm looking, bro. Not the Gucci suit, please. Faith and fast. Yeah, I've been fasting. Like I didn't eat until 5 o'clock today. Yeah, I want to get thinner. I'm a husky boy, dude. I'm husky. You know, I want to be like 180, 185. Because here's the deal. Me and the people helping me, and not the gov, just the people that like my like. He's not like a manager, but he like, I don't know. He helps me with merch and stuff. I can't be chubby and like trying to like do cool music and like be cool, you know? But like, it's not that I don't want to be like skinny. I just don't, I get like a certain, I get bulbous, dude. I don't want to be bulbous. These people operate on blackmail, so thank God you're not connected. Yeah. Slim guys dream of being jacked. Husky guys dream of being trim and slim. It's so true. It's so true. Nah, you looking plump like a delicious roast turkey dog, my butterball king. He's right. I'm so round. I have round features, chubby cheeks, amorphous neck. Action Bronson is fat as fuck, and that didn't stop him. Talent is talent. That's true. That's actually very true. But I wish I could grow a beard. If I could grow a beard, I'd be so much more confident. I really do not like... Look at these things, dude. I don't like people looking at me. Well, okay, so here's the deal. So I went to the Goth Money Records show this weekend. right? All access. Hooked it up, okay? There were people, this is weird. There were people who recognized me. I could hear them. They were murmuring about me. I walk up and I hear people going, oh, that's Izzy. Oh my God. Literally someone goes, oh my God, no way, that's Izzy N. Griffin from Instagram, right? And here's the deal. All these schmucks are waiting in line. I get to walk past them all. Go straight in, right? And it was funny because this same group of people, they wanted to talk to me, but they were like nervous or something. Okay. And later in the night, one of them bumped into me intentionally. Interesting, huh? Interesting. John D said, I'm dealing with some bitch tits. I've been there. Take some testosterone, you'll grow a beard, Boar King. Yeah. My facial hair is... Because I genuinely have, So my family, my dad's side is Spanish. There's a little Native American in there. And then there's, Irish and Welsh. And then my mom's side is Anglo. They're Frisian, which is, Anglo-Germanic and Dutch. So... it's a weird mix. A lot of anger. We are always what we can't have and take for granted what we do. That's right. That's actually a great point. Ooh, this Red Bull. Paul, this is my last 5 and I want you to have it. Thank you. You have no idea how much that helps me. You have no clue. Dang, we're down to 20. We're bleeding. W. Paul. I'm not going to lie, you got the LaCroix and fasting going, you're chilling. Yeah, it helps fill my stomach. It helps to fill my stomach. It really does. It really helps. It genuinely does. It helps a ton. I'm starting to wonder how real the number is on YouTube. You know what? Because especially back in the day when I was on another channel where I actually said problematic things, I would have 5, 6 people in the chat and it would say 2 people. Red Bull Boar King, let's go, Wilk Life, baby. Let's get some rees in the chat. Let's get this thing pumping, dude. Ooh, I live in Southeast LA, Whittier. I'm slonking doinks and watching the riots live stream. Should I go live stream the riots? Let's get some rees in the chat. Let's get some rees. Re, baby. Re, baby. That's what I like. That's what I like. It's what I like. It's what I like. So I think maybe I'll announce it now because I'm excited. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking musically, we just build a catalog. Just build the sickest catalog. Who cares, dude? We can market things however we want, whenever we want. Cholo Izzy Unlocked. That's right, foo. That's right. So, the new project title, I'm thinking, and I might change it. I change them all the time. I think we might go with this. Are you ready? I think we might go Gargoyle. Let me get a W in the chat if you like Gargoyle. New name. Gargoyle. How hard is that? How hard is Gargoyle, baby? That's so W, bro. A gargoyle, dude? That's so nuts. Gargs. We get some gargs in the chat. Let me get a garg in the chat. Gargoyle hours. DJ Contortion, that's such a sick way. That's such a sick way to write it. I'm a gark, baby. I'm a gark, baby. Gargoyle. Gargoyle is fucking goated, baby. Gargoyle is goated because here's the deal. Here's the deal. Gargoyle is going to be like. So I went to this show, right? I went to the Goth Money Records show, and I was studying it, just studying all of it. And Gloom is great. Gloom is a great listen. But I want songs. I need like a catalog of songs that are literally just hitters live. They're just live, just bass. Just go, bro. Gargoyle is going to be that. I think it's just going to be, Gargoyle's literally just going to be like 15 like minute and a half songs that just are literally bass, right? 1,000 years ago, superstition is or was the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness, and it was a world of fear. It was the age of gargoyles, stone by day, warriors by night. We're just live. We're just head bobbing. Gargoyles flying all over the place. I have a shotgun. I shoot them out of the air every once in a while. Bang, bang, bang. I'm just shooting gargoyles. Blood and stone falling onto the crowd. Just bass to your face, bro. You don't know why I'm singing about darkness, but you love it? Make more songs strippers can dance to. That's what it is. I'm just trying to do stripper core, garg core, fire, bro. Like the whole idea, like, dude, okay. Like seeing Black Crate live, it's like, first of all, he's a SoundCloud legend, right? SoundCloud legend. But it's like the songs just go live. They go stupid live, dude. They go stupid live. But here's the thing. This is what I will say. This is my critique of hip hop, and I found the cheat code for it, especially with this Gargoyle project. Hip hop live, if you do not have a vocal chain set up on your thing, it sounds bad live. You need to have it rigged to where you have a vocal chain. So when I start performing live, probably in about a year and a half, after I release, we're going to have Gloom, we're going to have Gargoyle, we're going to have Gloom Infinity Edition. How's that sound? Gloom Infinity Edition. Gloom Infinity, bro. Okay. Spawned from the Ethereal Network Stripper Core Bass Bonanza. Dude, now you have ideas. Warchi Official, you're creative director of Gargoyle. Do you get stage fright? Fuck no, dude. I love performing. I'm a little attention whore, dude. I love it. I love performing. I will be honest, though. Part of the reason that I had a drinking problem was literally because of my nerves, like singing live. But if it's something like doing hip hop live, even though I don't really consider what I'm doing hip hop, I wouldn't get nervous. It would be too fun. This is one thing I will give the genre of hip hop live. It literally is just a party. Live, it's just a party. It's sick. It's cool. That is one thing I do love about live hip hop. Is it's just a big party. Gargoyle, dude. That's right. Gargoyle, bro. But here, sorry guys, we gotta fix the cam. Hang on, bros. Camera is fixing. Here we go. There we go. All right, cool. Dial in the live vocal chain, Poppy. You'll sound like an angel. Yeah. And that's one thing that my engineer is amazing at, dude. Is like. He can do vocal chains on the spot. I can be like, hey, I want to sound like this. He's like, oh, you want me to make you sound like an ethereal angel? Got it. He's got it. And then my boy John, he gives me some solid critiques lyrically. I've been studying. Dude, Gloom was great. Gloom Infinity is going to be fire, just the expanded. Where would your live shows be hosted? I'd show up anytime, even if I got to fly. Dude, I love that. I'm not sure. They're going to be wherever they're going to be, but one thing I am focusing on right now is I'm studying and learning how to promote my music better, because here's the deal. So like Gloom dropped. I went from like 100 monthly listeners on Spotify to like 1,200 in like a day. But I was relying on going on Tinfoil Hat and all this other stuff, and I didn't promote it right, and I just messed it up. So I got to be better about promoting it. So now I've been studying how to promote it properly and all that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing next. But it's, I don't know. Plus music is like the passion. That's like the thing I love to do. It's the passion. But I understand that, you know, you have to give it passion, energy. You can't, you know, I don't know. So, all right, let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm reading some comments here. I had a weird comment today. I had someone comment some weird, like, they were like, just, I don't like when people are extremely confident and wrong. I don't understand that. One thing about album releases, it definitely gets the project rolling. My band had to relearn our material to make it as tight as the record. It's one thing at a time, and it gets the ball rolling. Yeah. We fall short, buddy. Keep pushing that positive energy. Yeah, that's the thing, dude. It's like, it's music is one of those things where it's like, I want to give up on it every single day because it's so hard. It's like hard. It's difficult. And music is one of those things where it's like, people are mean about it, dude. People are mean as hell. You gotta be coming correct musically. You know, you have to, or people will destroy you. They will absolutely destroy you. Art is hard and soul crushing at times. It really is. Like, it's weird too how you can get 10 positive comments and the one negative comment is the one that destroys you. Wheezy F. Turner, As We Were album goes crazy. I copped it on Bandcamp. Yeah. As We Were is really good. I'm really proud of that record, really. After scrolling Instagram musicians with chops, I have to look at musicians as a communication these days to keep my sanity. Like, hey, this is the idea I'm expressing. Yeah. Top 3 dream openers. Okay, if I could open for them, who would I want to open for? If dream opening scenario right now, and like contemporary artists, Travis Scott would be one. That would be crazy. I'll be honest. I'd obviously love to open for Kanye. That'd be crazy. I would love to open for Young Lean and the Drain Gang. I would love to have a conversation with Young Lean, because Young Lean is one of those people I can see what he wants to express in his eyes. I could see it. Oh, dream, like I'm just talking people now, because I really think that I could get. I think that there's a lot of artists now. If I could have a conversation with them, that I could make them GGs, good guys. Because I think a lot of artists I think a lot of them are a lot more conflicted than we think. I don't think. Paul Belzy said, I prayed Young Lean would open for you one day. I'd probably have to open for him. I don't think, but you never know. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'll be Oliver Anthony and I'll just blow up one day. Maybe I'll just be Oliver Anthony and it'll just pop, you know? Badass Fatass says it's easier when you don't need money to make money off your art and you can just create. Yeah. Yeah, it is easier when you can do that, you know? Like, and that's kind of why I like doing it the way I'm doing it, because I truly feel like they're two separate things. And I just always want to be, you know, myself. That's the thing. God invented you with an open mind. Are you allowed to explore that open mind? Yeah, sure. Why not? I would say I think me, because we're talking about me, I think I'm pretty open-minded. I'd like to think that. I think that sometimes people forget that Izzy can be a bit of a character sometimes, you know. And Irish Bear says sometimes he hits it with sandpaper. I really think have you ever seen something about the staircase experiment? No, I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what that is. You know, there's some people on TikTok. There's this one guy. His name is Zero. And he's really interesting. And he live streams everything he does non-stop. It's very, very interesting. What is abuse? That's a hard thing to define. Oh, JoJo's here. My little brother's here. The whole reason I do the show is to connect with him. Let's get a JoJo smoke in the chat. If you're somebody who smokes something, roll it up right now, dude. Roll it up. Torch it up for JoJo Smoke. My very own brother. Let's get a Wilk. He's currently in fight camp. He has a fight July 26th. And we're going to have a watch party live. Watch party live. That's right. That's right, everybody. Joe, you missed it, dude. I was rolling mid-30s for over an hour and 20. You know what's crazy? So people are like, I'm like saying like smoke pot, whatever. I was like thinking, literally today, I was thinking about when I used to smoke and how it used to hit me so hard, bro. My brother said he had to train. Yeah, Wheezy, I did hit 40 at one point today. 40 was the peak. We'll get back. We're averaging mid-20s today. It's fucking great, you know? Whatever. It's fine. This is about consistency. I do need to start clipping these, though, and throwing them on TikTok. We do got to do that. Art of Chris says, I miss the Philosopher Pokemon show you had. Dude, you remember that? You've been around for that long? Yeah, for those of you who don't know, me and my brother used to have a podcast. It went 3 episodes. It was called War Babies. And the show was we would choose philosophers, give them a Pokemon moveset, and then we would have them battle other philosophers. That was such a good show idea. It was so... That's one of the most unique things ever. War Babies was sick. War Babies was insane. I remember we did Spinoza, we did Socrates, and we did another one. We would do philosophers versus each other. And I would give my brother... Yeah, that's what we would do. I would give my brother the breakdown on the philosophers, right? So, like, this whole bookshelf is philosophy books from college. So it'd be like, we would do like Friedrich Nietzsche versus like David Hume. And I would explain their philosophies, and my brother would give them a Pokemon moveset, and they would battle. Philosopher Pokemon Deathmatch. Basically, that's basically what it was. Yeah. Yeah, that shit was so sick, dude. I remember that. I missed that show. But we both just got way too busy. We should make our own Illuminati card game with all the elites on them. Spinoza knows ya. Oh, you've been around, dude. I think I know who you are, Paul. Spinoza knows ya. We should make our own Illuminati card game. Yeah, I'm actually, this is going to sound really funny. Like, at the beginning of this year, when I took some time off work and I was like trying to see if I could make enough money to do this job without working. And I kind of could a little bit, but whatever. But I was working on a conspiracy card game. I truly was. I was like sketching them out, but it ended up not going anywhere. But, whatever. Card games are difficult. Card games are really weird. I feel like, too, like seeing the state of Pokemon now with the scalper shit, it's very sad. It's very depressing. I don't know. I was a big Magic the Gathering player. Ask JoJo. JoJo will confirm. My senior quote was Magic the Gathering Pro Tour 2013. Cheers. Magic the Gathering, what the hell happened to Magic the Gathering? What did they do to that thing? They started licensing Lord of the Rings and everything, dude. What the hell? Jace the Mind Sculptor. I pulled a Jace the Mind Sculptor on my birthday, on my 18th birthday. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, the normies got in. Magic. I started playing Magic in 2003 on the Mirrodin set. And I played through Ravnica. I took a break for a few years, and then I continued to play. I really liked MetaZoo, but Magic fumbled and sold it off, and now it sucks. It would be cool to do like a D&D campaign or something. Maybe a Discord D&D campaign would be kind of fun or cool. I'm really, yeah, that would be fun. It's going to be interesting when I upgrade the equipment for this live stream and I can do more. Maybe like, I've had this idea to do watching TikTok together, just because I truly do feel like TikTok has good information. Like, I don't know, TikTok sometimes gives me good ideas and stuff, and I love Chosen One TikTok. And I've talked about this before. But I truly feel like if you watch a ton of Chosen One TikToks, you can truly become great. I don't know, it's weird, like, what's the most impactful thing you took away from studying philosophy in university? I think the biggest thing with philosophy was it taught me how to be a critical thinker. That is probably the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life. And being a critical thinker is more than just questioning everything. It's more than just being intellectually honest. It's not about questioning everything. It's about knowing what questions to ask about everything. And I think studying philosophy will do that to you, because you can question everything, right? And you can do it like Jordan Peterson, where you become this guy who has light, lofty, amorphous principles that are loosely defined and ambiguous, and the only shapes they take are outlining the shapes of the ideas that they should be, right? And then I think there is diligent questioning that is purposeful, that is aiming to find the proper answer. So, example, when we watch the 20 atheists versus Jordan Peterson, not 20 atheists versus one Christian, right? When we watch that, hang on, let me fix the camera. Sorry, guys. When we watch that, and Jordan Peterson is going, well, what is truth? What is good? What is... And he's not taking a genuine, tactful, purposeful approach to getting an answer. He is questioning things with no serious intent to find an answer. He's being disingenuous in that way, right? And I'm saying this as someone who actually sides with Jordan Peterson in that particular video, right? And I think studying philosophy can do that, right? John D said, don't make me get my effing dice out. What do you mean? Oh, D&D. He was asking for every single word to be defined individually, which is, here's the deal though, that's what philosophy is, right? For example, the basic, where you start, literally in Philosophy 101, your first college philosophy course, you will start talking about Plato, and the first question, what is good? Right? What is good? What is the good? You have to have definitions. You have to have abstractified definitions in order to propel yourself forward towards an answer, towards truth, right? So what he's doing is not wrong in that way. But what makes it wrong is he's questioning this, not trying to find an answer that will work within the context of the conversation they're having. Okay, so let's just say, for example, me and Kay, the person who asked this question in the chat, are arguing. If he says, what's the most impactful thing you took away from studying philosophy? What if I said, what is impactful, right? If I'm doing that to discredit his entire question, that's one thing. But if I'm truly trying to find out what he means by that so we can proceed forward to having me have a good answer to his question, that's a different thing. So, yeah, that's my long-winded answer of saying critical thinking and knowing what to ask, when to ask it, in a way to actually get somewhere with it, not to just be difficult and to just be, not do the steel manning of the Socratic method in a way. The point of the Socratic method, which is getting answers by questioning, is the point of doing that is to get an answer. It's not to elude. Do a D&D campaign based on your life and career. The players have to defeat Mons and defend your birthright to having Young Lean open for you. Yeah. That would be funny, huh? Yeah. I mean, it was immediately the second I came out, they tried to kill me immediately as a baby. I know many of you don't believe that, but it's the truth. They wanted to prevent this. Think about that. Much like, you know who else they tried to kill before he was born? And I'm not comparing myself to him. I'm just comparing a similarity. You know? Now this one, ice cold. Ice cold. Ice cold. They're silently rolling out Palantir and normalizing a police state with the protests. Normal fear-mongering cycling, though. Yeah, that's been going on for a long time, though. And your chat is actually... Where are you? Your chat is... Oh, there it is. Moses and Jesus. Tell us a joke if you're not an AI. I'm not a joke guy. I must be AI. I'm not a joke guy. Here, you want to know? You want me to do my classic bit? My classic? You guys know the classic. Are you entertained now? Honk honk. Honk honk, everybody. I'll stop. I'll stop now. I've only drank 2 LaCroix. We got a long way to go. This might be a late night. You know what's funny is if you go into ChatGPT, you can actually get answers in my voice now. I'm officially ChatGPT coded. I've gotten big enough. Thanks for doing what you do, Izzy. Your story has totally inspired me to make positive changes in my life. Just know you make an impact with your work better than any therapist can, for sure. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sometimes I really question what it is I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and where it's gonna go. I've been really struggling with that one lately. Almost like a weird form of a midlife crisis. I've been kind of there a little bit lately. Because it's just, I don't know. Desktop audio device 1. Maybe that's how I do it. Mic auxiliary. MacBook Pro microphone, high-res audio. Maybe it's default. I hope. Is the audio messed up now if I do that? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Is the audio weird if I do that? I hope not. We'll see. Your purposes serve a greater good beyond the monetary. I know that. It's more just... It's not about the money. It's about, we gotta... we gotta see. We gotta get through we just gotta get through this little weird season. I'm in a weird season. I'm in the in-between part. And the in-between part is frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Oh, it's like I'm talking in your ears now? Crap. Oh, dude, why did I do that? Here. Man. I need to turn it off then. I just need to is it good now? Is it good now or no? No, it's fine. Now it's fine. Is it fine? It's not that bad. I wonder why. What about now? Let me see. Crap, dude. Hang on, let me see. I'm trying to make it so I could play music. Why did I even mess with it? Let me see. Check. Oh, man. Good for me. Everybody's saying it's good. Okay. I don't know how they make it to where the audio comes through and doesn't screw with everything. Yeah, this is one of my classic bits, my classic troubleshooting bit. That's right. Now the camera bit. Classic camera going out bit. Probably losing everyone. Classic other camera bit. Now robot voice is back. Oh my gosh, dude. Now everything's just wonky. What? Let me see. Now it's good. But now the camera's gone. Fuck. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, everyone. I'm just ruining everything. Now I gotta fix the camera. Hang on. Oh, let's go. All right, we're back. We're back. Everybody, let me get a hi, Doug. Let me get a re in the chat. We got to shake off the... Now, this is pod racing is right, baby. Let's get a re in the chat. Let's get a hi, Doug. I can feel him. I can feel his presence right now. Hog Wild. We gotta watch Hogs, actually. We got to watch that movie. That movie Hogs here soon. We got to watch that one soon. Dude, it must be insane to live stream to like literally like 50,000 people. That's crazy. The powers that be would love that. Give us some esoteric secretive information. Okay, Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes was an NSA agent. Wanda Sykes worked for NSA, and she was that's what she was doing. She was NSA agent. You have big substitute teacher energy? Yep. I was a substitute teacher for years, for a very long time. And I didn't give a fuck when I was substitute teaching. I let everybody do whatever they wanted. All the little kids would have fun when Mr. G was around because I let them do whatever they wanted. I didn't care. I was there for the day. I wasn't there for life. Have fun, but not on the normal teacher's watch on my time. Every single time the teacher would come back, they would say, "Where's Mr. G? We missed him." And then they started putting me in with the tards. They put me away with all the tards because guess what? I was too powerful. You know who I taught? Ryan Garcia, the boxer. Why do you think he's the way he is? Mr. G taught one of his classes for about 8 months. Mr. G, the substitute teacher, taught Ryan Garcia. I'm the reason Ryan Garcia knows everything he knows because I would take those kids in that class and I would say, you know what? There's a pedophilic priest class that is sucking your energy day in and day out. I was too powerful. They sent me to the tards. And then after the tards, I was making the kids with Down syndrome too smart, raising their IQ by 10, 20. Put me in with the prisoners. It's so funny because you guys think I'm joking. I literally taught Ryan Garcia for months. Banished. I was quartered away. My truth bending. I'm a truth bender. And by that I don't mean somebody who tells fibs. I mean somebody who takes the truth and I shoot it at people like a weird wizard. I go like this and I give them the truth. And I kept doing it to Ryan Garcia so much I made him a good boxer. I used to walk into class and I would call Ryan Garcia a little gay pussy every single day until he got good at boxing. Because I would tell him this, you're not going to be anything. You're a nobody. Look at you. Look at where you're from. You're from Victorville, California. All the Mexicans wish you were from LA. Nobody supports you but me. I will make you the best, Ryan. Isn't that what you want? I was literally working on a screenplay while Ryan Garcia was playing grab ass in the back of class with 3 other cholos drinking Michelob Ultra. And on passing period, I would drink in between passing periods. I would have a couple of beers, and Ryan Garcia would come into my class, and I would shadow box with him. Too powerful. They had to banish me to the Tard realm. That's what I did. LaCroix Crusher said, give me your drugs, kid. You know what's funny? This one time I took away this kid's weed pen, just used it, stole it, and took it away. How come all the Cholo kids at me school were in the same class as the wheelchair guys and Down syndrome kids? I don't know. You have direct connection to 2 people who could murder me with their bare hands. I'm 3, because I have a gun. Yep. Little Crying Ryan. That's what I called him, Crying Ryan. That's what I called him. I called him Crying Ryan. And I would make him dance. I would say, Ryan, you better start shuffling. You better start shuffling. You better start doing the You're a Jerk dance from the New Boys. You better start doing that in class right now. We got to get that footwork going because you're not going to be anything. Look it up. Look what high school he went to. He went to Adelanto High School. I taught there. I taught at Adelanto High School for 5 years. Base, that kid didn't need the weed pen. Yeah, like what am I going to do? Get the kid sent to his probation officer, or I could just take the weed pen and I could use it. I went to Adelanto High School. And you know what's interesting? My great-grandfather, Cabeza de Vaca, the Spanish conquistador, he was known as an adelantado. He was known as an adelantado. And do you know what that means? I don't either, but it means there's something in the water. And it's me, the truth seeker, the truth teller, the truth bringer. Adelanto High School. You know what's crazy? You want to see what high school I taught at? Let me show you. I coached this football team. That had we were winning 41-0 at halftime. We're beating the shit out of this team in the semifinals to go to the championship. I was the co-offensive coordinator up in the booth, and we got in a massive fight. Top video, getting into a street fight with Ryan Garcia in high school. And it's literally them talking about how they went to Adelantado High School. Let's see here. Let me show you. Well, let me show you this video, this brawl that got us kicked out of the playoffs. Let me show you. You want to see it? You want to see what Coach Griff was doing? They used to write articles about me, call me a legend. That's what they used to do. They used to talk about me. How I made it all about myself. I made the whole thing about me. Hang on. Let's press play. Hang on. Press play. Look at this. Look at this brawl. Watch this brawl break out. Come on, man. What the heck, dude? What's going on? Look at this. Whole team clears the bench, bro. Look at that. Got us kicked out of the playoffs. It was all over the news. 41-0 at halftime. Look at that. Yep. Kicked out of playoffs. I don't know if the video played. Hopefully it did. If it didn't, I probably just wasted some of your time. That's okay. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it's all laggy, isn't it? It's all laggy. Whatever. You got the story. You guys get the gist. Fave Wizard of Oz character. Toto doesn't count. I loved the Scarecrow growing up. I was a Scarecrow guy growing up. Now it might be Tin Man. He needs a heart. I have a lot of heart. I think I have a lot of heart. The Scarecrow wanted a brain. You know? I wonder, I feel like if I was a character, because this is Izzy's friendship simulator, I would probably be, I wonder who I would be. I would probably be the wizard. No, the wizard sucks. I don't want to be the wizard. I'd probably be the lion. Maybe. And that's why they don't let him talk for very long. He starts truthing, and Dana doesn't like that. It makes his overlords mad. That's right. It's exactly right. It's exactly right. They don't want that. John D says he's a flying monkey. It makes sense. It makes sense. I can see it. Chat, who is your favorite Wizard of Oz character? You know what's interesting? Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever... A lot of people are talking about weed pens in the chat. Weed pens are like... They really are a big shift in the weed game. Like, when I was in high school, they didn't have weed pens. So you would have to, like, smoke weed. But now, dude, all these kids are stoned out of their minds. They're stoned out of their gills. Literally. You know? They're all so stoned, bro. Every kid. You know? Like, back in the day, you're like, oh, the weed kid smells like weed. You know? Now these kids are just like, they're just like... You don't know if they're brain damaged. You don't know if you're a tard wrangler or if you're just teaching a normal math class, you know? And then you have this, like, no kid left behind shit, and no one can read, no one can write. Like, John D had to walk 3 miles for a bag of what he calls chronic. You know? They smoked themselves tarded. Yeah, they did. Like, literally. Like these kids, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the kids are going to be all right, dude. I will be honest, though. I love the evolution of the music industry. Like, this is one thing that I don't know if it's good or if it's bad, but, like, the kids now, the internet has fast-tracked everybody. So they just do what they want, right? Like for example, like Netspend knew he wanted to be a musician at like 12 years old, and then he just does that. That's all he does. So that is one thing I think it is a positive with the kids nowadays. My brother Jojo Griffin says I smoke a lot. Izzy can vouch. My brother does smoke a lot of pot, but it doesn't make him stupid. He's an exception. My brother is truly one of the Joe Rogan types who can actually smoke pot and it doesn't fucking ruin his life. You know, like I cannot smoke pot. I get too paranoid. I start hearing shit. I can't do it. I'm a shaman. I'm a shaman, guys. I can't smoke weed. Sorry. I can't smoke weed. I can't do it. I can't smoke a little za. I can't smoke the za, okay? I can't do that. Okay? Ultra wide mode. We can't do that. I still smoke flower, but I worry about my newfound Christianity and my habit. I mean, you know, we all have habits. I can't fathom having a weed pen in school and gummies. What do you think about edibles? I don't like weed. I don't care if other people do it. I can't do it. I think it does. I truly do think weed does affect your brain more than people think it does. You know, it's weird. Like, I started smoking pot in high school, but I never really liked it. It would just freak me out. I would get so paranoid. Every time I would smoke it, every single time, I would freak out. I just cannot do it. And, like, I've tried to do the edibles. I've tried an edible. I've tried to just chill out, man. Have an edible. I've tried. I can't do it. Freaks me out too much. I start talking to the astral. I become Astro World. My brother says, I spoke to a priest at a Catholic church and confessed to him I have been smoking a ton of weed, and he said, as long as you do not sin after smoking and it doesn't cause you to sin, then it is fine. This, in conjunction with what the Bible, drinking is not a sin. Drunkenness is a sin, right? I'm a cancer survivor, and it legit helped the process. It's like a teddy bear for me at this point. That's fine. I mean, you've overcome... First of all, congratulations on overcoming cancer, but that's much different than being a guy who's like, I just want a little smoke. You used to smoke all the time, but gradually made me go insane. Eventually went full into psychosis and thought God was going to kill my daughter and punish me. Well, you know, there's something to that, right? Like, that psychosis, you know, that means you don't need to smoke weed. Right? There's something to that. Whenever I smoke, the air gets heavy and I feel everything I can't see with my eyes. Yes, I get the same way. These weed pen people will be like crackheads in 10 years. Cart heads. I agree. You know, and these people like, I just need to smoke to be creative, man. I just need to smoke a little creation. You know, I don't know. You know, people who smoke pot, it's interesting. Like... There are very few people who are habitual weed smokers who smoke around me, and they think I can't tell, and I just know, you know. So true, AJ. I already see it, man. People throwing their lives away. Yep. When I was a kid, I used to smoke myself stupid. It's different now. I stopped hanging out with losers, and my use changed. It was right about how joints can get me. Yes. I haven't smoked in over a year. Weed makes me too nice. Yeah, I could see that. Like, I don't know. Like, it truly, I lose it. I freak out. I can't. I'm becoming. It's bad for me. Now, I do cardio and I chug LaCroix and I starve myself so I can feel something in the pit of my stomach. That's what I do. That's Borkor. That's how you get signed to Goth Money Records. Okay? That's how you get a record deal. See that? Everybody and their grandma smokes nowadays, yeah. I think drinking is way cooler than smoking. What's the craziest thing you tripped on weed? Is the moon bad vibes, or I'm all good to look at it and admire the moon? Admire the moon. You can admire the moon. Is the moon bad vibes? I can see what you're saying, though. I feel like anything you have an adverse reaction to is divine guidance. Yeah, like for me, guys. Here's the thing. Ask my brother. He's in the chat. If Izzy started drinking on this stream, you guys would know. And this show would last about a week and a half, and then we would be in the ether, and the show would not go on. Izzy'd be gone. Bye. He'd be gone. You'd be watching Sinners. I'd be talking to the fairies, cuh. We'd be tripping. We'd be saying good morning. Oh yeah, this is what you'd be seeing. You'd be seeing this if I started drinking, brother. You'd be seeing this. This is what you'd be seeing if I started drinking, brother. You guys don't want no part of that game. Me and booze. Woo-hoo. This is what you guys don't get. Whoa, shit, sorry. This is what you guys do not understand when it comes to me. I literally love, and I mean this. This is what I mean this. There's not anything on this planet I love more than alcohol. Literally. There's nothing I love more than it. That's why I can never have it again. Nothing. I don't like anything as much as I like alcohol. Never. Like, You guys don't get it, dude. You got to ask my brother. He's in the chat. Ask him. And it's funny, like, it's funny because I've had people who are like, there's no way you're sober. You're fucking crazy. Dude, you have no idea. This is me so chill, so calmed down. Like, that's one of my favorite things is like people like, you're a drug addict. Like, I've had people like comment that or like, you're on meth. I've done every drug. I've done literally every single drug except for like heroin. Okay. I've never like intentionally done heroin. If I was on drugs, you guys would literally know. Lips that touch alcohol shall never touch mine. You hear that, Izzy? Yes. I feel you, dog. Same here. Yeah, my brother's saying, no, I have trauma from his alcoholism. Yeah, my alcoholism was not normal. Like, you went a little wall-eyes? Yeah, I'm kind of being funny. But no, seriously, yeah, my alcoholism is like not, like not normal, dude. It's completely, because there are people who, you know, because I can't even, it runs in my family, yeah. You know, I take it to a level. People have no idea. That's why I got to drink fucking 100 LaCroix a day. To stave off the beast. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go grab another one while we're at it. While we're at it, bros. Jojo, what's the dumbest drink thing you've seen Izzy do? Yeah, Joe, what's the dumbest thing you've seen me do? There's so many, dude. It's not even like a one. Probably when I ruined my entire college graduation. I ruined my entire college graduation. Fucking ruined. Flame through it. Ice cold cans LaCroix saved me from drinking. When I found bubblies, I knew I could stay off. Yeah. Alcoholics created empires. Stoners created hunter-gathering societies. Deploy the Croy. Deploy the Croy. The new generations ain't never touched Real Blue Dream or Sour Diesel. I'll take that pack from 2012, 2013. You know what? I might... If you gave me my 19-year-old brain, my like 17-year-old brain and gave me some Blue Dream, I think maybe a few of us could have some fun. But I just can't. You know, I can't. I literally can't. You know what's sick, though? You know what's really cool? So I went to the Goth Money Records show this weekend, and my brother will know this reference. Maybe a couple of you will know this reference. I used to have a friend named Jay. Me and Jay were Beavis and Butthead, dude. When we were together, it was hijinks to the max. I'm talking spending thousands. When I tell you, dude, I used to get paid and I would go to my friend Jay's house and I would spend my entire paycheck in a night on drugs and alcohol, literally. Right? But there was this guy there reminded me of my friend Jay. His Hunted Mills. Name's Hunted Mills. He performed with Black Cray and he kind of opened for him, right? And me and him were talking in the green room. He offered me a drink, my favorite tequila. Oh, he offered it to me. I was like, no, I'm good. You know, whatever. You know, it's so cool to just be able to be like, I don't drink anymore. You know, and especially I'm at that age now, and the people I'm around are at the success level and that age where they don't go like, oh, come on, man. He's like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, you don't drink. Okay. You know? But my brother knows, and I can just feel him watching me. I know that he's proud of me for just being like, no, because, you know, 5 years ago, I could not have resisted, and I would have drank the entire bottle of tequila and ruined the entire green room and ruined the entire thing. Jojo, what's the most pathetic drunk thing you've seen Izzy do? Don't answer that. Do not, please. God, do not answer that. I've done insane things. He got me banned from a local gas station because we looked similar, and apparently he went in and threw up everywhere in the bathroom after taking 2 tall boys in there. They thought it was me. Was that the Shell? Was that Shell? That's so funny. Were you banned from the Shell? And you know what's funny? Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, but you know what's funny? Those people fucking loved me, dude. They banned me for like 3 days. I was still going back there, and I still... Yeah, those people were idiots. There was no wanted posters. I never stole anything. Yeah, dude, my drinking problem was otherworldly. But it was, and the thing is too, is like, I was also a binge drinker too, which is the worst form of alcoholism, actually. It's the most dangerous. So like, and my brother will attest to this, I would have strings of sobriety. I truly would. I would be able to go sometimes 2-3 weeks, a month. There was a few times I'd go 2-3 months. If I was able to get past the 3rd day, if I could make it 3 days of no drinking after, let's say I drank Friday. Let's say I drank Friday through Sunday. If I could get to Thursday and not drink Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if I could get to Thursday, I wouldn't crave alcohol. But those 3 days would be fucking hell. Hell. But yeah, it was definitely, it's like my brother was saying in the comments. He said it's character development. It was absolutely character development. It really, it's what I needed, dude. It's what I needed. I needed to experience that low, that super, super low, Wheezy F. Turner, welcome to Boar Horde Super. Sobriety tips? Oh, man. It depends what substance it is. It depends on what your level is. It depends what it is. Sometimes you need to change your scenery. Moving will not just change everything overnight, but you got to change your social circle. You have to change it. Yeah, my brother says we wouldn't have the couch philosopher or Izzy without it. Yeah, that's true. Izzy, this is funny. Izzy was literally like my nickname when I would drink. That's like what it became. So when I was in college, I got the nickname Izzy because people would say like, you're like Ozzy Osbourne when you drink. So they started calling me Izzy Isborn. That was the nickname in my band. And yeah. Did you quit cold turkey or how'd you finally quit? So the way that I quit was for the final time. I quit cold turkey. So I stopped drinking and my alcoholism was so bad, I actually went into alcohol withdrawals. During withdrawals, I had 3 days of full-on alcohol withdrawal-induced psychosis where I was hallucinating, I was seeing demons, I was hearing things. Many of the things I was hearing were like, I was hearing literal people's thoughts and was able to relay their thoughts to them and scare them. I believe the FBI had implanted a chip in my teeth because I could hear people talking in my teeth. I could hear, it was the craziest thing ever. Anyways, so I went 3 days, then I ended up going in, I had a manic episode where I started going into, I literally started having a heart attack, and then I was hospitalized. And I was hospitalized for 4 days, and then from there, I was then taken to a rehab facility, which I stayed for 31 days. And then I moved into a sober living for about 10 months. And then I moved to where I am now. But yeah, my tips, you got to change your social circle. Start there and just try to get through you know, if you have a bad enough problem to where you're asking where you got to get through every minute, every second, and then hour, work it up to hours, then days. Just get through the day. Get through the day. Make it to bedtime. I've been smoking weed on and off for almost 5 years. The longest I've gone sober is 3 months. Similar to you, if I can get hold off for 3 days or more, the cravings go away. Yeah, especially with weed. Weed, technically, is not supposed to have physical withdrawal symptoms. So if you can get through those first few days, you know, but there are other substances like if it's benzos or alcohol, I would not ever recommend quitting cold turkey like I did. I almost died. And, you know, but me having that Izzy the revelation from God while having a heart attack laying on my parents' couch while the ambulance came in changed my life forever. And I made a covenant with Jesus Christ that I would never drink again. So that was for sure divine intervention. I had a similar experience that took me off my bad habits. You just have to listen to the call. It's hard though. Yes, it was divine intervention. Yeah, I saw it all. I saw everything. Appreciate your testimony, dog. Glad you're here with us. Thank you. I'm glad I'm here too. 4 years off Fent myself. Boredom is the biggest trigger. Idle hands or whatever. Yes. You're on Fent too. You had some pretty gnarly physical withdrawals getting off that. That's very commendable. As when it comes to things like opiates or whatever, you should probably taper. You should probably taper yourself. Give yourself less of a kick. You know, but it just depends. Everybody's different. If you're young, if you're like in your early 20s, you know, if you're in your early 20s, man, it's not as hard. But if you're the older you get, the harder it gets. The physical toll adds up. But dude, Aaron, yeah, Fent, man, that's a big one, dude. You dodged one of those Mario bullets, those big ones. Now, Aaron, I'm going to ask you, did you kick in jail? Because if you kicked in jail, that's some hero shit, bro. That's some hero shit. If you kicked in jail, that is some hero shit. Convo change. How'd you decide long hair? You know, I was rocking a mullet for a while, and it just transformed into me having long hair. I don't know. Me and my family, we've been asked this question a lot. We all the men have pretty long hair, and it's just getting long. I haven't cut it, and I think I'm just growing it back out. I did pills forever. They started to Fent. Getting arrested saved my life. Yeah, I could tell you. Yeah, that's usually where people kick Fent. They got me off alcohol in the hospital. I was bleeding through my esophagus because my liver shut down. I hallucinated smoke demons. Thought there was an earthquake. 5 days of hell. I agree. But yeah, long hair. And I was reading somewhere that, like, you know, I also was reading some propaganda about great men and long hair. They were like, all the greatest men have had long hair. Alexander the Great had long hair. Jesus had long hair. Well, you know what's so funny is all the scientists who like tried to give like an accurate depiction of Jesus. And he had like the short hair and it's just so silly. Samson is polling me for long hair. I did a 6 month. How long was it? I did a Nazarite ritual, actually. Not a ritual. Yeah, like a ritual, I guess. I don't know. I grew my hair out for like 10 months and I didn't eat. There's certain things Samson the Nazarite, Jesus. No, not Nazarite. Nazarite? Yeah, Nazarite. There's certain things you have to do. You can't like touch dead stuff. Kay says your hair is literally the spiritual antenna. Yes. What about the Shroud of Turin? Do you believe it's real? It is real. They've proven it's real. An atheist scientist literally just proved that it's real. You got to look into it. It's legit, bro. It's legit. There's tons of things backing it. People have tried to disprove it. Gets proven right every time. Sorry. I had long hair and had a hole in my life ever since I cut it. Yeah, I agree, man. I think there's something about it. Like the NAZIs did research on long hair and how it connects you to the other dimension and all that other stuff. I don't know. I don't know how true it is, but my hair is getting longer, and I'm digging it. I'm liking where it's at right now. Oh no. Oh no, boys. Joseph Smith told his hitman Porter Rockwell to never cut his hair and he would have power. Well, if Joseph Smith said it. My brother said he shaves his hair as a spiritual cleansing. Yeah. Yeah, Dad used to talk about that kind of stuff. I think that there's something to that. I really do. I had long hair and I was going through serious spiritual development. Yeah. Yep, I think all that stuff is pretty truth core. Pretty truth core, guys. Is this truth coded? Man, I really got to get through these next few days, man. These next few days, boy, they're going to be rough. What products do you use? None. I have like some shitty like Dollar Tree thing. Just a crappy little thing, you know? Stock up on LaCroix. Yeah, I literally think I have $6 right now for the LaCroix stock up. So we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. And there might not be a stream on Wednesday. I have to go to LA for some things. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes on that day. So I don't know if there will be a stream. I don't know. I might not go though. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it. I gotta go to the restroom. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Everybody hit the chat right now. Okay, let's see. What do you think of Valentinus claiming to be a disciple of Paul through Theodos? I have no idea. Izzard, the mother effing wizard. That's right, baby. That's right. We're here. We're not queer. We're ready to steer the world to righteousness. Yeah, it's actually really crazy that that the Izzy's worlds were like hitting 1,000 within the first 2 hours, and now like this one is at like 300 views, like for the first day. It's so crazy. Would you arm wrestle Jay Dyer if the punishment for losing was to get a Hello Kitty tattoo? I'd fight him. But not like in a way like I don't like him. I like Jay Dyer, but yeah, I'd fight him. I'd fight him for that. I wouldn't arm wrestle. I don't like arm wrestling. I have an arm wrestle phobia. Sorry. Bully is going to be good. No Kaepernick. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think Bully will be good. Autistic Mystic. What did someone say? Was that? What do you think of Dr. Elaine Pagel's research on Gnosticism? No idea. I think Gnosticism is, it depends. Just tell me what oh shoot! Smokey would hit me with the 20. Let's go, boys. Let's get a re in the chat. Let's get a wilk for Smokey Wee. Let's get a wilk. Let's get a wilk. Let's get a wilk. Let's get some rees in the chat, baby. Let's get some rees. Ree, 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 ree. Ree, 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 ree. Let's get some rees in the chat. So let's see. Dr. Elaine Pagels is a prominent scholar of religion known for her work on Gnosticism, including the Gnostic Gospels. Okay. You'd have to tell me like specifically what. I think I was into Gnosticism for a while. I don't really, I don't know. Would you do brain rot content just to experiment and prove that's what gets the numbers? I've done that. I've literally done that. I've literally like included like brain rot, like soap cutting overlays on my videos to just be funny, and people get so mad. Like, I don't know. W, Smokey Wee. That's a W. That's a W. Bravo. 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 I tried to turn on TTS today, but it's like not... I don't know. I tried to turn on TTS, and it didn't... Smokey Ree. That's awesome. The socials purse your first few streams and lives to get you addicted. Yeah. Just imagine an entire Izzy's world with GTA 5 gameplay. Yeah, that would be sick, huh? It'll be interesting to see how Izzy's world grows and how it continues to... It'll be interesting to see what that show turns into over time. Because it's getting really... Like, I'm wondering if the views kind of dropping on it, or because the content's getting more esoteric, or what? I don't know. But I feel like people just... I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's too many of them out. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I'm not gay enough. Maybe I'm just too straight. You know what I mean? Maybe I need to start doing more. Sabrina Carpenter's in this episode, everybody. Yeah, and it doesn't help that you have to type in at Izzy N. Griffin world. It doesn't help. What archetype do you feel you align with the most? Oh, baby, that's a good one. The Hierophant. I think I align with the Hierophant. And the reason I'll explain is this. So the Hierophant is essentially the teacher. And I talked about this in Izzy's World Plus. The Hierophant archetype represents authority, tradition, and established knowledge. It embodies a figure of wisdom and guidance, often associated with religious or spiritual organizations and systems. The Hierophant is a respected authority, respected for their wisdom and importance they place on spiritual practice. Often a leader, teacher, or mentor who guides others through established structures and knowledge. But here's the thing. I feel like I'm like the rogue Hierophant because I don't guide people through established orders. I don't do that. Yeah. Wheezy says the Hanged Man. I do have... Maybe I'll drop it here. Do I drop it here? Do I drop that knowledge here, Wheezy? Hangman reversed. Ooh. Ooh, danger. Danger at every corner. I used to really align with the Fool a lot. Nah. Yeah, I don't know. Wheezy's the only one who knows. The Bible is an established order. Great point. Drop it. If I can get enough reads in the chat, I'll drop this knowledge. I'll drop it. I'll drop it. Like, here's the thing. It's one of those things where if anyone copies, you know, like it would be so obvious. It would be so obvious if somebody copied. I'll tell you. Jacob says there's either Temperance or the Star. We're getting some rees. We're getting some rees. I'll tell you. So I am... Oh, that's a lot of rees. Okay. All right. I'll drop it. I am dropping jewelry. Ystar jewelry, and it is the Hanged Man archetype. Let me show you. So I'm working with like a legit insanely talented jeweler who we're doing a chain, and the chain has the Hanged Man on it, hanging upside down. This has never been done before. We have looked to see if there was anything like this. There's not. We would be the first ones doing it. And let me show you. Oh, let's go. Elliot Walker with the dub with $1.99. Thank you, Elliot. So, I was really inspired. If you watched the long theory on the Drain Gang, I was super inspired by Echo 2K, the amount of time and thought he put into the jewelry he dropped. And so me and my homie were talking about it. And so we were trying to find like the perfect thing to do. So it's going to be cast in silver. And let me do this. We're going to share. I'm trying to get the image up to share it with you. Where is it? Dang it. Okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. But no, it looks insane. It's going to be cast in silver. I think we're going to do sapphires for the eyes. Everybody get a Wilk for Elliot for the $1.99. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, here's the thing, right? Is like I'm not going to drop I'm not going to drop anything anymore that is like just... Damn it. What the fuck? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to drop any merchandise like just as a money grab. I think that's like really, really lame. And I feel like it's like not... It's not the move. Everything I drop from now on, I want to be very intentional and I want it to have meaning. And I feel like the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man represents like being sort of an overthinker. You're lost in a sea of emotion because of your overthinking. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays suffer from anxiety. They suffer from thinking too much. And I feel like this piece would be like a good reminder to people to just like slow down and to not like worry so much. Where is this thing? I'm trying to get it to connect. I have the image. This is so annoying. What is your conception of God, and if you believe we have free will and an omniscient, all-benevolent creator? Yes. What is my conception of God? It would be pretty much like the traditional Christian idea of God, basically. Dude, this thing is like not allowing me to connect it. It'd basically be like it's a pretty... I mean, there's more to it, but that would kind of be it to simplify the conversation. Have you touched on Mandela effect yet? Yeah, I have. Not really on here or on stream, but Mandela effect is a psyop from the government, basically, and they've kind of proven it. You know what? We can do this. This is one way I can get it shown. Hang on. Now that I've been rambling about it for minutes and no one cares anymore. There. So this is the three-dimensional thing of the Hanged Man, and this will be, it will be from here. It will be cast into silver. Yeah. So obviously this is like a 3D rendering, so it's not going to look perfect, but yeah, it's going to be cast in silver from that. Eyes will be sapphire. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think people are going to really like it. But enough of that. It's funny. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be insane. I think it's going to be super dope. People are going to like it. Yeah, I don't want to, like, everybody just drops, like, I'm dropping a t-shirt. I'm dropping a hoodie so I can make $80 off a fucking hoodie. It's like, that's cool. Like, I don't know. Like, things just, we have all of this amazing technology that we can do all of these insane things with. Why not drop, like, the most intentional, meaningful, insane thing possible? I don't know how much they're going to cost. They might be kind of expensive, but it would be cool. Even if I sold 5 of them, do an insanely cool packaging, like that would be dope. You should make a tarot deck. Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know enough about tarot to do one that would be worthy. Thoughts on Roman Catholic effect on Christianity when they owned the world with the Holy Roman Empire? They still do. And there's a lot. That's a big question. You're like asking me what's my thoughts on like all of Christianity, kind of. I think there was some good, some bad, and some ugly. And I think I'm selling some dope chains. Oh yeah, I'm getting tipsy off the LaCroix, boy. Let me grab another. That one's too cold and it's icy. Tarot's from the devil, in my opinion. Okay. Well, that's your opinion, man. It was commissioned by Catholic Church, and it was originally to explain archetypes. That's what it was for. Gnostic text says Eve gives Adam life and on the origin of the world in the Nag Hammadi library. Is that canon? What do you think about the silver price being suppressed? It's an electron. Yeah, I don't think it should be up there with gold, but it's being suppressed. Playing any good video games? I'm not a big video game guy, man. Like I'm not a big video game guy. I don't have like. Not that I don't have the attention span. I just, something about, I can't do it anymore, man. I can't game. I want to game and I can't game. I want to. I try. I literally bought, like, me and my girlfriend a Switch for Christmas. And it's something we do together. We play video games together occasionally, very occasionally. But it's just, I don't know, man. I really want to play, I want to try Breath of the Wild. I know I'm, like, years behind. I'm interested in games like that. I loved Skyrim, Minecraft. What's the difference between using tarot and idolizing it? I mean, that's a question. You could ask that with anything, right? What's the difference between eating food and having food be an idol? Like, what's the difference between gaming and idolizing? Like, it's how reverential it becomes. It's how instrumental it becomes it as a way of your being. It depends how much energy and what kind of energy you give it. It's very easy to idolize. Very easy to idolize. Very dangerous. That's why I don't pull tarot cards. That's why I am interested in the archetypes as such, and how they exist, and how they are used as descriptors to our reality. Anything more? That's why I cut it off, so I don't idolize it. Well, maybe the tarot was inverted. I don't know. I just know when I was a big believer in such things, it made my life go downhill, so I had to renounce it. I believe what you will, though. Yeah, I don't think it's from the devil. I think that it's a form of, it can be used as a form of divination, right? I don't think saying, using a major arcana that is a archetype that is a descriptor of a situation within reality. I don't think that saying like, oh, this reminds me of the Fool archetype in order to get more information on it, I don't think that that's demonic. I think if I'm drawing tarot cards to like tell someone their future, that's demonic. Those are different things, right? Using archetypes that are the archetypes are associated with tarot. Tarot is not associated. Wait. Yes. Reading tarot cards comes from the archetypes exist within the universe no matter what. The archetypes are in Kabbalah. The archetypes are in the Bible. The archetypes exist within everything, right? So play the Oblivion remake. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Breath of the Wild is a girl game. Is a chain not an idol? Do you make it one? If I'm wearing a chain, I don't know. I think that you're trying to create problems. That's what I think. Good night, Borkor. Good night, dude. Do I believe telepathy, past life accounts, and aliens fit into biblical worldview? I think aliens are demons. I think telepathy exists in a way that is not like sci-fi. I think telepathy exists via intuition. So kind of. I think aliens are demons. I don't believe in space. I don't believe in spacefaring aliens from another galaxy that come in their little spaceship. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Are other dimensions more spiritual than physical then? You're getting Gnostic. I experimented with lucid dreaming and I had 3 out-of-body experiences and a UFO experience. Wouldn't do it again. Any thoughts on the Grand Canyon conspiracies if you know about them? Yeah, I think that there's some credence to them. I think there's something going on there, you know. don't really know. A lot of conspiracies like that kind of stuff, like alternate history, that kind of stuff, I find it interesting, but it's not something I give a lot of thought because so many of these things are just, we're never going to get the answers that we want. And it just becomes a cycling of nothing. Would you say I ask good questions? Yeah, I think your questions are pretty good, Jacob. I think any questions that are posited from a way of trying to actually inquire and understand more, I think those are good questions. I think questions that are worded in a way to be tricky and to start shit are not good questions, because it's very obvious when someone is doing that. Did you learn tarot because you're interested in cards in general? No. I didn't really learn tarot. I don't know. I learn the archetypes more so. You know? When I used to do tarot cards like a long time ago, like when I would do readings on myself, I would do a reading and Google all of it, you know? And I still have to look stuff up. I don't know everything, but I just think that it's, you know, there are archetypes that exist within everything. You know, stories there's the hero's journey and all of that stuff. And I feel like that plays into reality a lot more than people think. I just think it's a good descriptor. I think people get really hung up on it and they think it's a lot more serious and wild than it is. Mario Party is a game of kings. What about Ouija boards? Never done it, never would. I think Ouija boards is a whole different thing. Ouija boards is a whole nother thing, dude. I would never, ever, 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 ever do that. Never. I think that's a whole different beast, bro. That is directly trying to start some shit. Yeah, Ouija boards are a fucking no-no. Ba-ba. How would you approach a normie with your ideas? I wouldn't. They would have to come to me. Oh, that's funny. Doug's actually in the chat. Doug is actually in the chat, but he doesn't know that none of you guys can see him. He's here. Hi. Oh, that's funny. No one can see you. No one can see you, dude. You've been X'd out before you even had a chance. Before you even had a chance. You fucking fucker. Before you even had a chance. Before you even had your chance, you were gone. You've been X'd out of the game. Have you heard about transfiguration mediums? No, I don't really know. I'm not sure what that is. Thoughts on money, serving God and mammon. The mammon stuff is pretty silly. I think the mammon stuff, I think a lot of people conflate a lot of things with that in order to I don't know. I don't really know what I A lot of the Mammon stuff I've seen is really weak. Let's just say that. What's your general thoughts on succubus? Yeah, succubuses are real. That shit's super real. All my friends are complaining about ICE, and I've been warning them about the NWO for years. No one listened. Succubus are transferred through porn. Yeah, they are. Dang, there's a bunch of members now, dude. Wheezy came through, bruh. I used to collect Ouija boards until people around me started seeing what was attached to me and I fell into addiction. Yeah, definitely. Binche Mammon. Yeah, the Mammon stuff. Like, I've seen Mammon stuff where it's like, red hat. You're wearing a red hat. You're a Mammon, you know, like the MAGA Mammon red. Like, that's a little, you know, I don't know. My friends are complaining about ICE. That's just so funny. That shit is so like Reddit tier fucking political garbage. It's hilarious. I have not done coverage on Lil Wayne, no. In my opinion, the most sinister type of black magic, yeah, it's pretty up there, dude. It's pretty bad. It ruins people in ways then they don't know. Again, I tell you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, that's it's kind of a misinterpretation, but the eye of a needle refers to a type of canyon. There was canyon. It's like a translation kind of thing. Canyons, or there was these like canyons that had these like small holes that camels could barely fit through. So it's not like a needle like you're thinking. But I mean, there are plenty of characters in the Bible that were insanely wealthy. Mary Magdalene was one of them. Abraham was another. King David. Solomon was the richest man, said to be like the richest man ever, richest Israeli king ever, you know, so. The depiction that a lot of people have with that is that it's impossible because they think of it as the eye of a needle, like an actual sewing needle, but that's not what it's referring to. Like an actual sewing needle. Transfiguration mediums invite spirits into them, and they communicate through, yeah, that's why I would never, that's, yeah, that's dangerous. Porn is Brazilian, it is. I feel that all worship of money and power comes from Baal worship and eating at his altar. Mansa Musa, oh, Mansa Musa, the guy that the Brazilians tell you about? The Bible is easily the most evil black magic project ever. That's funny. Yeah, just the thing that all Western civilization is based off of. Douglas. Do I have a favorite crooked preacher? You know, not really. I feel like I'm not really into that whole thing. You know, they're like Joel Osteen, all those guys. They're real naughty boys. Have you spoken in King James? Don't know how to feel about him. All into demonology. I mean, so is King Solomon, right? Like, I don't... A lot of that stuff sorts itself out. I feel like people get too wrapped up in the minutia. It's like, you know, people get freaked out about, you know, I don't know, the minutia of it all. They get so freaked out about it, you know? Yeah, Gospel of Thomas, yeah, all that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. The canon was reinforced by political and social ramifications. I mean, the canon, the traditions of the church were around for 300 years before the canon was ever even began to be put together. So, it's not included for a reason. You know, Dr. Elian Pagels' findings are not going to trump, 2,000 years of tradition and thought by the greatest minds that have ever lived. So everybody has opinions. That's kind of how I feel about that. How do you keep 100 wives and 100 concubines and keep God happy? Well, he didn't, right? Solomon ended up pissing God off a lot at the end. Like, I just feel like there's people who, like the Dr. Elaine Pagels or whatever, however you say her name, like people come around and they have these ideas. I don't like St. Thomas Aquinas was like probably one of the most intelligent people ever. You know, like it's not just like people think the canon was just like put together and it's like, yeah, there it is. Like there is thousands of people working on it. Like it's way more than just, you have to understand the entirety of church history. You have to understand so much. You know, I really don't think one person with this idea, whatever it is going to trump that. I just don't, you know. I think do I believe in dinosaurs? No, I don't. I think I've done a ton of research on the dinosaur thing. I talk about it on Duhheads a lot. The dinosaur thing is very silly. I don't think Tim Dillon's actually gay. I really don't. The dinosaur psyop. Yeah. Yeah, dinos. The dinos. My dino nuggies. Yeah, dinos are a silly one. It gets funny. It gets funny with the dinosaur stuff. Do I think we landed on the moon and lost the technology to do it? I think Jack Black's mom worked on the moon missions and the Minutemen guidance systems that Israel uses to destroy people. Yes, I believe it. I believe in dragons for show. Yeah, I don't think space is fake. I just think space is definitely not what they're telling us it is. I think there's a lot more going on with that. You know, there's a lot more going on with that. You believe in dragons but not dinosaurs? Yeah. You believe in... Do you know what... you know what? Do you know how dinosaurs came about? Do you know that nobody knew what dinosaur... No one had ever spoken about dinosaurs until the 1870s. And the guy who found the first dinosaur, do you know what his job was to do? His job was to create an exciting new exhibit for a museum in Europe. That's what happened. That's literally what happened. The guy was literally in charge of creating an exciting new exhibit for a museum in Europe. And all of a sudden, he started finding dinosaur bones. And everybody started finding dinosaur bones. But nobody had found them up until the 1870s. So... I don't know. So are dragon bones dinosaur bones? No. Dinosaur bones are potentially dragon bones. But no, dragon bones are not dinosaur bones. No. Dinosaur bones could be dragon bones, maybe, but... You got to rephrase your sentence. You have it backwards. Imagine renaming dragons dinosaurs and getting a pat on the head for being smart. I mean, think of like the Bible and every single culture on the planet has stories of giants and dragons. Chinese zodiac has a dragon. Why do none of these cultures around the entire planet have any stories of dinosaurs? So let me get this straight. The Chinese zodiac, which goes back like 8,000 years, has dragons, but it doesn't. I don't know. You know, it's funny how, like, people think, like, what scientism does is it confuses the simplicity of reality intentionally. Do you believe in Tartaria? Not really. Borgans. Borgans. Yeah, I don't really believe in Tartaria. I think Tartaria is kind of a cope. I really do. I used to be kind of into it. I'm not really into Tartaria anymore. I think, like... You know, I don't know. Like, we've been able to do some pretty amazing things for a pretty long time. Like, there are ancient cities in like, I don't know where, but they're in like the Middle East, and they would build these towers, and these towers would direct wind through them and air condition the wind so the cities would keep cool. They literally had giant towers that would like cool the air. Like, we've been capable of doing insane things. I think there's something to some of the Tartaria stuff. Like, I think there were buildings that... I think there's lost civilizations, but I don't think that there was a worldwide civilization. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Do you believe in healing resonance of bells? Yes. Yeah, exactly what Jacob's saying. The hero's journey and the archetype of it has existed forever and incorporates dragons, not dinosaurs. Should I go to a concert at Comet Ping Pong? Are you serious? What do you think? But Guru, I am not touching that on YouTube. And I don't think hero is, I don't know about the word hero, but we'll say misunderstood. Is Bigfoot a demon? I think that's hard. Bigfoot is demon adjacent. Cryptids are like interdimensional things that are demon adjacent, I would say. Almost like Stranger Things. Can you give us a Bigfoot yell? What do I think of Kanye's 88 song? I feel like it's mematic, and it is it did its job very well. I think the song about the painter that Kanye released did its job very well, and I feel like people are overreacting, and I feel like you got to know what Kanye's doing. Kanye has always been almost like a chill version of Malcolm X, where he's very pro the black community, and he is angered that there is one type of person who has profited off of the pain of black people in the music industry for the last forever, right? But really, specifically with the incorporation of gangster rap in the late 80s, early 90s. So he's trying to get his get back. And I feel like in 5 years, everybody will think the 88 song, they'll realize how ahead of its time it really was, because the way music is moving, we used to have like the Renaissance, right? We had these Renaissance realistic paintings. Now we don't have that. We have stuff like this, right? Like this painting right here of flowers. That's how music is. Music's becoming opaque. It's becoming impressionist. And that's just going to continue. Bigfoot is a scam perpetrated by Southern Husker. Yeah, but I said cryptids. Manifestation of spiritual entities. Yeah. What was all that about Dave Blunt's writing Kanye songs? That's what it was. That's literally exactly what it was. You know that, right? No, it's not. Aaron Nelson, no, it isn't. Those are AI. No. It might, the later versions might be, but the originals were AI. You got to think too, the reference tracks David Blunt's wrote, that's how the entire music industry is. Like, every song you hear, you guys don't know, man. Well, Azalea Banks is a fucking idiot. Is there any color Carhartt pocket tee you don't own? Yeah, I don't own a lot of them. I really wear the black and white. Dude, these tees, this pocket is so useful. I use this pocket nonstop, constantly. I'm in and out of that pocket a ton. But all right, guys, I'm out. Last LaCroix, basically empty. Wilk, Ree. See ya, boys. I'll see you. Hey, we're back tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow. Fit a LaCroix can in your pocket? I will. I do this all the time. Wilk, Ystar, baby, you're a star. Izzy's got to go. Go listen to episode 11 if you haven't yet. It's a good one.